And I should get Cardboard Live up before I start drafting. Here we go, Cardboard Live. Cool. Alright, this is a really good pack. Several cards here I consider to be like kind of top tier in the cube. Yeah, I could get behind that Shoop. Also, hello. Anyway, Glorybringer is the best card in the pack. I think it's not that close, but like there are several other cards I'd be very happy to first pick, namely Angel of Sanctions, Teferi, and Vivian Reed. All just like really classic, you know, value 4 and 5 drops of a type that I think work pretty well. I used to be suspicious of Teferi because the cube was so aggressive, but I found it actually does a pretty reasonable job of defending itself. And is just devastating in a long game. Anyway, we're going to take Glorybringer here. I'm not like really a mono red player, I try to avoid mono red, but Glorybringer is in every red based archetype, you're always happy to play it. Easy Glorybringer. Okay, so here we have the best card is Shark Typhoon. The mono red aggro card is Viashino Pyromancer. And Siege Gang Commander is another red 5-drop, which I'm not in love with. I think this is pretty close between Shark Typhoon and Stomping Ground, is what I'm leaning toward. I've seen a lot of I've had a lot of really good red-green decks in various arena cubes. I find that like the red threats are among the best, and ramping them out just a little bit really does great things. I also really like the red-green gold cards in this cube. I think Escape the Wilds is obviously amazing. Radha is very good, and those cards tend to come around a little on the late side. And I haven't loved blue-red, but yeah, I can see it being close between these. I don't know. Anyone in chat want to say something that can help me decide? Tammy says Glorybringer Pog. I already took Glorybringer, Tammy. That's not helpful. Sharks or Stomping Grounds? Going once. Going twice. And sold to Stomping Ground. No, we opened Mythos of Illuna. Mythos of Illuna is such a fun blue card that I would like very happily play. Sphinx's Revelation, says Kevlar Man. Also not helpful. Also not helpful. Anyway, so probably just going to take Incubation Druid here. The 2-mana ramp cards are really, really good and just very important to green as a like functional color in Sealed, I've found. Or not Sealed, but Cube, what am I saying? Mythos of Illuna is very tempting. I think Mythos of Illuna is fantastic. If you don't have something good to copy, your opponent probably has something good to copy. If neither of you have anything good to copy, you just hold it, or it's a land. Karn's also good. Oh, I've had mixed feelings about Karn. It seems like it doesn't seem like it outshines other 4-drops all that much, and I think it's easier to find the payoffs than the ramp in this cube. Like, I like Karn, I'm predisposed to like Karn, but I've not been, like, super impressed by it. For whatever reason. Like, I wanted to be impressed by Karn. I think I'm going to take Incubation Druid. But I think Karn was reasonable. I think Lightning Strike could even be reasonable if you say I'm just going to stick in red and not commit to green yet. That's fine. Insult to Injury is a pretty fantastic red aggro card, which we're not going to take here. There's Riverglide Pathway, so having failed to take 2 blue cards, we can always just take the blue-red dual land. There's also Tangled Florahedron, which I hadn't even noticed at first, so I'm going to take Tangled Florahedron, actually. Not hard. Inscription of Abundance is pretty good, but the fact that you kind of need a largish creature to really take full advantage of it by the time you have 5 mana means it's like I found it to be a bit too slow against aggro. It would be a consideration if Florahedron wasn't here, but I'm pretty happy just taking 2 green ramp cards early and be able to like play bigger stuff without worries. Okay, so now I've got Ethersphere Harvester, a card which I have not actually had the chance to play yet in this cube, but it seems very good. Like, it's a solid, persistent threat against control, and of course is excellent against aggro. Captain Lannery Storm's kind of interesting as like a ramp creature. Hi, Dr. Nick. Commit to Memory here, also a really fun card. Could have had a great red-blue deck, but that time has passed. That ship has sailed. Speaking of ship sailing, are we going to take this ship that's sailing or this captain who's sailing a ship? Huh, maybe it's actually Lannery. That's a Simpsons reference, Tammy. You probably wouldn't get it because you don't get references in general. Dang, that's close. Alright, we'll try Lannery. I like the idea of like all my cards ramping in some way, especially when people are passing me 6th pick Voracious Hydras. I have been impressed by Ashaya. I got horribly blown out in one game where I waited to cast out my opponent's creature, and then they resolved an Ashaya, and then I couldn't cast out their creature, and I played the cast out anyway, and then it did nothing. And I'm like, what happened? But they had Ashaya, and so all their cards were lands. I still think Voracious Hydra's a bit better. Ashaya, just a big creature that makes kind of amounts of mana that are so large you can't really do much with them. Hydra is just outstanding at any mana cost above 3. And here we got Paradise Druid and Rekindling Phoenix, so one of the best ramp cards and one of the best 4-drop ramp threats. Now that because we already have Incubation Druid and Tangled Thorhedron, well, shoot, that seems absurd. That seems kind of brutal for everyone involved. I'm going to take Rekindling Phoenix. I think Phoenix is really nasty. A lot of decks kind of auto-lose to this card. And Paradise Druid's good, but we already have 2 different 2-mana ramp spells. I could see either of those being right, but we have Llanowar Elves, okay. So nobody wants green ramp. That's great. I'm just going to gladly play cards ahead of schedule and crush people. We even got a dual land on the wheel. Sarkhan's Unsealing is one of those... It's like cute that they put this in the cube, but I really wish... I'm mostly happy with this cube. I think it's a pretty good cube on the whole. I do wish they would, like, take out some of the real stinkers and put in, like, I don't know, the Cavalier cycle, for example. Why are there no Cavaliers in this cube? Why do we need Sarkhan's Unsealing in here? I don't think I've ever seen that card in play. Here I'm going to take Sawdust Demolisher over Dryad Greenseeker, I think. Actually, yeah, this is close. I've been very impressed with Sawdust Demolisher so far. It's obviously not a card I had played with before this cube, but the flexibility of like what it could kill has been great. And then we got Inscription of Abundance versus Valakut Awakening. Huh. We are green-red. We're not going to really need the removal this offers. The life gain's kind of cool, but I think we'll take the spell land here. I feel like we're in a pretty open lane. Our colors are not being challenged. We're going to be fine on playables. Let's get some value into the mana base. Also, Ethersphere Harvester wheeled, which should never happen. Pretty sure someone's deck wanted that. Okay, so this is Kogla. Pretty easy Kogla, I think. Waking the Trolls is cute. I've rarely seen it do much, whereas Kogla has done something incredible every time I've seen it in play. I don't know, Kevlar Man. Cavaliers reward you for playing heavy in one color, which I think you can do. I mean, Bolas' Citadel's in the cube, right? Kogla's in the cube. Why can't we have green and black Cavaliers? Yeah, I think this could be an okay Waking the Trolls deck. If there weren't Kogla there, I might have considered it, but there was a Kogla. And we've got Elysian Caryatid versus Garruk Unleashed. Let's take a quick look at the curve, see how this is going. Huh. Caryatid could be very good in this deck. That card, in combination with stuff like Lannery Storm ramping to be a 4-power creature, or just having Rekindling Phoenix out early, it's really good. Garruk is a Planeswalker, though. Carl, I don't think Stonecoil is a consideration here. Stonecoil is just below par in the cube for power level. It's like, fine, you'll play it as a filler card if you need it, but there's pretty much no mana cost other than like a really high one really late in the game where I'm happy to be playing a Stonecoil on my turn in cube. Let's take Garruk. Maybe it's supposed to be Caryatid there. Showdown of the Scalds is mildly tempting, but we're not really a deck that has splash options here. Elder Gargaroth versus Ulvenwald Hydra is closer than it might look. Like, the Ulvenwald Hydra boosting your mana is kind of nice, but I think Gargaroth is still a cut above. I have seen Ulvenwald Hydra be very good. I've definitely had games where, like, my Elder Gargaroth was getting blocked by a 10-10 and nothing I did mattered. Okay, this pack's interesting. Basically, Royal Eruption and Cultivate. Cultivate's a very strong ramp card in general. It's probably the pick, but I am noticing that we have pretty much no removal right now. Still, in red, you're going to pick up some removal later. I don't think map's a consideration, Killer Man, is it? Treasure map is so slow, especially for best of one. I just have not been impressed ever seeing it in play. I'm going to take Cultivate, I think. Cultivate's just like a really powerful effect, and it's not one you can replicate easily in other ways. Okay, so now we passed Showdown of the Scalds. We sort of... Mirari's Wake doesn't seem that exciting. We're not We really are like doing a good job of like using our mana in this range. We don't have any real reason to double it to go to like 14. Or Wake is really at its best in blue decks, I've found. Where you have a bunch of card draw you can access. This is probably just Arch of Orazka. Scattered Grove's also a consideration. Like, cycle lands are good, and having a little bit of access to a splash is not the worst thing. I think I'll just Arch. There are definitely decks that can run you out of threats in the cube. Okay, now this is a pack that I would just gladly take and end this pack with. We've got, like, 6 different cards that are all pretty darn strong for us. And feels like we're probably henging. I found Henge to be a bit unreliable in the cube. It's like, your big threats don't always stick around, but Henge is just like a unique effect. There's nothing else like it. And I think we have to slam it. Now we got Dragonkin Berserker, and I'm going to take Gilded Goose here. Hello there, Spinzanti. Yeah, so Dragonkin Berserker, not really what our deck is looking to do. Ramping, definitely what our deck is looking to do. Even if Goose is just like sending Cultivator, Land, or Restore mana turn early, that's still incredible. And alright, Ox of Agonis and Turn Timber Symbiosis are both interesting. It's Symbiosis versus Ketria Triome is very interesting. I think it's Triome. Given that we have a colorless land in the mana base, I want to be really... Rizaleo, I don't really want to be mono green. We have very good red lands, and Glorybringer and Rekindling Phoenix are 2 of the best cards in the entire cube. Okay, ram through Wilt and Waking the Trolls. How likely are we to actually ever play Waking the Trolls? Probably pretty unlikely. Do I like ram through? Ram through's okay. Yeah, I would like to pick up a bit of removal. I think I prefer ram through Wilt slightly, given that I already have Sawtusk Demolisher. Tormentor's Helm is like such a funny card to be in the cube. Like, what? What are we doing here? Is this even good in mono red? Do we really have to put this in the cube instead of Goldspan Dragon? I mean, red's already really good, so maybe I shouldn't complain. Take Fastwood Fortification. I think this one's a little bit below the power level of the lands that I like to play, even if they're also spells. Now I've got Ulvenwald Hydra plus Showdown of the Scald. We have a Goose now, but we're in a Triome that doesn't help us play Showdown. I think I'm still just taking Hydra here. It could be that we are like now have enough big things we don't actually need to do that, and maybe I should just be taking Showdown in case I splash. Ooh, got Magda back. Magda's great, especially with Ethersphere Harvester. Hey, wow, okay. I would actually just take this back and be done with the draft too. That's 3 first picks right there. So Embercleave, not at its very best in this deck, but still very strong. Asika's Chariot, also just a crazy powerful threat. And then Escape the Wilds, which is very good. I've ran out of ways to say very good. Shish, what am I supposed to do? Part of me wants to take Escape. Part of me thinks Escape might wheel. I don't know that we're really a good Embercleave deck. Our creatures are all sort of winning on their own. I think Kellerman's right. I think I like the Cadillac. And try to wheel Escape. Chariot just does such a good job of blocking in addition to attacking. Weighted Magic, Embercleave is a win con. Do you see the deck in front of you, Weighted Magic? Do you really think we need more win cons? I feel like our deck is like one big win con. Yes, this is Once Upon a Time and it's not close. Hazoret is, I think, the best individual card in the cube as far as like, 17 lands kind of shows that it is, and also I found it to be the card that just most often beats me with no hope. But our deck is not very good at turning on Hazoret. We have too many expensive cards. This is Once Upon a Time to make our opening hands much more consistent. And alright, I'm pretty happy grabbing a Scorching Dragonfire. Kiora is also interesting. We're not the best at turning her on. A lot of our creatures are awkwardly kind of not quite going to get there. Yeah, Mistastic, it's pretty thin, and it shows like what you'd expect, which is that Mono Red just runs over best of one because people don't know what they're doing in cube, but it's still kind of interesting to see which Mono Red cards are the best cards in Mono Red. Although there's not much data. Kiora Scorching. I think I'm just on Scorching. I have not been wowed by Kiora, and I like having some amount of removal. Okay, well, Starnheim Unleashed is a card I am wowed by, and I'm very willing to splash. This card is one of the very best cards in the entire cube. Just you foretell it at some point, and then some point later you probably win the game unless your opponent has Wrath immediately. Or unless they've done something so big that it goes over like 3 or 4 angels, which not a lot of stuff does. Yeah, I mean, 3 people passed it. I think they're probably wrong. I don't think Nessian Hornbeetle is even close to a consideration. We barely have any 4-power creatures. I mean, we have some, but like making the Hornbeetle a 3/3 on turn 4 is not very appealing. First row in games is the card that's like kind of close here because the card draw is nice, but I'm pretty down for Starnheim. And now I'm pretty down for Sky Sovereign, I think, over Vorinclex, yeah. Vorinclex is just not that impressive of a threat. It's just a 6/6 haste trampler, and the counter stuff rarely comes up. It trades with removal 1 for 1. It's not evasive. I just haven't been excited by it. I think I'm pretty down for Sky Sovereign. Hoping that we wheel one more way to cast the Starnheim Unleashed. We do have Cultivate, which is okay. Yeah, I mean, extra counters from Henge. If you have a Vorinclex and a Henge in play, you're probably okay. You're probably okay. Alright, is this Old Growth Troll or like Thrash Threat? This song's a bit abrasive, isn't it? Move that ahead. Huh, I don't really like any of these cards very much. I guess I'll take Troll. We're like close enough to being mono green. Alright, this is a red-white dual land. Cultivator's Caravan, actually. This seems really good. Is this just busted in our deck? Makes all the colors, casts our 5-drops ahead of time, and is a 5/5? Well, Zuzunu, we'll probably be playing some Constructed later today. Sorry not to be your favorite streamer anymore, but hopefully you'll come back once we're doing more Constructed. Well, you're also here now. Don't worry. I fell in love with Kaldheim Draft. I assume that Strixhaven Draft, just by law of averages, is not going to be as good. Or Return to the Mean. What's the word I'm looking for here? Alright, Bonder's Enclave. I don't know if we can swing another colorless land, but this one's pretty good as colorless lands go. Phyleth World Sculptor. I have a lot of non-basics. Phyleth does not interest me. Yeah, Weed, I saw that. Oh, Wheeled Escape. Easy money. Alright, this deck is looking great. Got Sun Petal Grove. And Kiora Masked Vandal. Kiora Masked Vandal. Kiora Masked Vandal. Kiora, alright, first row in games, cool. I've almost played Jaya's Immolating Inferno once or twice, but I've never been able to bring myself to do it. That's another card that they could replace with Cavalier Flames. And Kevlar Man, I think you just stumbled upon the British way to say Watsy. Regression to the mean. Regression to the mean is what I was looking for, chat. Yep, I think we probably could have been mono green if we'd really wanted to be, but our mana looks great. Yeah, the mana looks really good. I don't really see a reason to go mono green. I mean, we could build it for fun. We have enough playables that we could do it, or we could just splash Starnheim Unleashed or something, but the... You know, how much do I actually like Glorybringer? Because there will be that one game in 15 or one game in 20 when we can't get to double red in a timely fashion. There's a universe where I'm like interested in mono green, maybe? Except for splashing Escape the Wilds and Starnheim Unleashed and possibly Scorching Dragonfire. Kevlar Man, I don't think you respect Starnheim Unleashed enough. Just like, it's just so easy to get. Just hold on just long enough to think one extra angel and your opponent just dies. I may be over-updating because I went 7-0 with my last Starnheim Unleashed deck and it was insane. Yeah, I mean, I think between Cultivate, Scattergrove, Sunpetal Grove, and Gilded Goose, and Cultivator's Caravan, we've got enough access to white mana. And Once Upon a Time is also a little bit helpful for the fixie fixes. Alright, so let's look at a couple versions of this deck. If we're just cutting the cards that are weak, we cut Wildborn Preserver. Wildborn Preserver is not very good. Mistastic, yes. I mean, I think everybody would say that Starnheim at least is the most busted card of Kaldheim Limited, and it's not close. If we just splash red, then I would not be including Valakut Awakening, no. Let's see, what else does not impress me much? Thrashing Bronzodon is, like, fairly medium. I'd rather be ramping on that turn, I think, in general. Goodbye, Charles Mingus. Olven Old Hydra doesn't really do much. The other one wants to cut Lannery and Magda. If we got Lannery and Magda, then we might as well just be doing the mono green thing with the splashes. So I'm trying to think, like, if I'm basically, the deck I'm trying to construct now is, like, what if we did just play the heavier red? And if we were playing the heavier red, I love Rekindling Phoenix and Glorybringer. People have... Rekindling Phoenix is just, it's just really good. You gotta respect Rekindling Phoenix, folks. And... what else is on the weaker side? Ram through might not be as necessary. Yeah, I think once we have a large creature in play, my concern is not so much using the large creature to kill my opponent's other things. Sacred Rib Chariot's very strong in cube. Chariot is a card I would first pick sometimes. It still just makes 8 power for 4 mana, and then it's very good with blink effects. I've used Chariot plus Charming Prince. I've used Chariot plus like bounce things back to your own hand effects. Chariot plus Yorion exists. And then on a beatdown deck where you just, like a green beatdown deck, it's crazy. Yeah, I can see Harvester being out. Yeah, test for death. That's what I do much of the time too, which is something I don't see other streamers doing. I think people should do more often. In this case, I think the deck is like fairly clear. Well, there are 2 decks I could build. I think both of them can be achieved pretty clearly, and the question is just which of the choices I'm making. There are definitely going to be the games where I play Lannery Storm and can't attack safely with it, and that's going to be super awkward. If we got Ethersphere Harvester, I'm more into cutting Magda. Magda plus Harvester is a great combo, but without that, I'm less into her. Let's actually see what the like almost monocolored version of the deck looks like. We cut you. Add back Harvester, add back Brontodon? I feel like we might be like a little short on playables with this version. Hydra? Hydra has a lot of good utility lands to get. I could see Hydra coming in. And it's like Preserver or Brontodon just to have like a little bit more early game. Whoops, come back. Killer Man, I'm not sure we're playing any mono-red lands in this version of the deck when we're trying to cast Old Growth Troll. Yeah, Ram Through just isn't very good, unfortunately. Against the decks that you badly need removal against, you're probably not keeping your big creatures in play long enough to use Ram Through. I mean, probably is a strong word. You often aren't. And removal that like just isn't removal 30% of the time is very bad compared to removal that's removal 100% of the time. I am finding it hard to move off of the red here. Yeah, I think we lose Old Growth Troll and throw the red back in. I want to lose Troll, I want to lose Brontodon, I want to lose Harvester. And I want to get Scorching back in. I actually like... I think I lose Kiora. Kiora, like, frequently just kind of dies, either to a Planeswalker removal spell, or she just gets damaged to the point of not doing anything anymore. The games where you get card advantage with her, she's amazing, but like we have so many things to ramp through that don't actually grant card advantage off Kiora. Like Voracious Hydra for 3, Sky Sovereign, Escape. I think we've still got enough ramp. So is this Magda? I actually kind of like Harvester. I think I want a little bit more anti-aggro. Let me cut Ulvenwald Hydra for... It's great with Garruk, but it's also really bad if you don't have a creature to use with it, unfortunately. And I think this deck is very strong. I'd rather just play to minimize the scenarios where my cards don't do anything, is kind of what I'm looking to do here. Like, having a Garruk in play ticking up on your creatures is great. You generally don't need the ram through to go with it. It's my theory, at least. Yes, lead magic. We can also have lethal by just beating our opponent to death with creatures. How good is Sawtust Demolisher? I like having like one kind of naturalize the effect in the cube somewhere, so we can beat a Patient Rebuilding or an opposing Great Henge or something like that. It also just makes 9 power for 4 mana sometimes, which is pretty nice, and it's great with the Henge. Okay, feel like I'm pretty happy with this version, although I'll need to take a look at the mana base. Cut Plains, cut Mountain, add 2 forests. I think I cut one of these two. Which of you is it going to be? I think it's Arch coming out. This gives me 12 green sources plus Once Upon a Time, which should be pretty safe. Oh, plus Florahedron's 13 green sources. That should be fine. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6 red sources plus Cultivate, Caravan. I think we do play Valakut Awakening. And then we could cut... Do I got the Plains? Plains means I can't get white off of Cultivate anymore, which seems awkward, but I do have the Caravan. So between Caravan, Goose, and the 2 lands, and then Starnheim Unleashed being a late game card, that's probably fine. Plus I've got Magda for Treasure. Yeah, I think I just don't play a basic Plains. I'm just going to hate drawing that every game I see it. This gives me 13 green sources, 8 red sources. That seems pretty reasonable. 8 red sources plus the Goose, and the Incubation Druid doubling up our first red source, and so on. Let's try this. Whoops, that's 41 cards, though. How did I get to 41 cards? Oh, I want to be in the 16 land. I'll just go to Forest. We'll see. There are a lot of different ways you can build this pool. It's possible that the nearly mono-green version's better, but I just like Glorybringer. Glorybringer just makes people scoop. Okay, so yeah, if our cards line up in an appropriate order, we've just got extremely high card quality in this deck. The main thing I'm worried about is somebody going over the top of me or somebody casting the card Hazoret. Lost a lot of games to Hazoret in this cube. Okay, so we're coming off a 7-0. See if we can 7-0 again. Sure, hand's a bit sluggish, but we've got a Scorching Dragonfire. Jofu answers for Hazoret in the cube include Vraska's Contempt, Banishing Light, Cast Out, stuff like Commit, Counter Spells, Angel of Sanctions, Fairgrounds Warden. Alright, I feel like it's a game where I'm going to get some use out of Valakut Awakening. Ulamog, sure. Blocking with Elder Gargaroth. So opponent looks like they're just doing the whole counter all your stuff thing, which is fine. I have a lot of stuff they'll have to counter. I might not be able to curve Asika's Chariot smoothly into Elder Gargoth here, which makes me wish... Okay, never mind. We're going to be fine. Alright, we'll take you and you. Cool. Alright. So opponent's on the counter my threats. Oh, never mind. They're on the Behold the Multiverse plan. So if opponent ever like taps out for anything, whatever we have to follow up against their thing will probably be better. Going to be very curious to see if they're actually mono blue. I guess like a good blue control deck with a lot of counters could be a problem, since a lot of our threats are pretty mana intensive. This is a match that makes me wish we were playing best of 3. You could board into a pretty good anti-blue deck. Alright, so... I feel like I would like to play around Censor, which does exist in the cube and is like pretty highly played and is easy enough to play around with our hand. Opponents already achieved some card advantage. We had card advantage off our Cultivate. Sure. There are not that many counters in the cube also. They're like... Well, they're a good number. Crawling Bear is a bit scary. That could be how we die. Okay, Glorybringer. I think... I'm interested in Gargaroth over Glorybringer. I'm going to continue to play around stuff. Once our opponent gets to 6 mana and starts Sublime Epiphanying and Gear Hulking us, we'll lose. But they do have to have counters or removal for all of our stuff. We got good stuff. Okay, so Garg could also just get Brazen Borrowed, which would be fine. Into the Royal. Thrix the Sudden Storm. That one's fine. Alright, you got an answer to Garg, buddy. They can play a 7-drop. They could lay claim the Garg. Silent Departure is brutal. Okay. I don't like that. Yeah, so maybe we just get beaten to death by Thrix. We'll see. That's definitely a card that punishes our deck really hard. Alright, do I just go Garg again, knowing they could Silent Departure it again? Kinda still think that's the move. We can't Glorybringer the Thrix. Sawdust Demolisher doesn't really do anything. We got Valakut Awakening, which is like a bit better than the Cycle Land of Scourge. Hedron Bribe. Yeah, I mean, many people have been playing Temur Clover in Historic. You can go watch Chris Botelho's stream, for example, Botelho. Or Doggart Q Bones was playing a bunch of Historic Clover recently. They're both playing a 4-color version, but I've also played the Temur version before, which you might be able to see in some old stream VODs. I'm not sure when I last played it. So this costs... Alright, this still costs 5 because it still has a CMC of 1. We are going to force our opponent to deal with our Gargaroth in a more permanent way at some point. Incubation Druid's nice. That's getting us really close to being able to double spell, which I like. If they just have Essence Scatter or Disdainful Stroke now, I'm going to be real sad. Ugh! Alright, I'm officially real sad, but we're pretty close now to Glorybringer plus Scorching Dragonfire getting us somewhere. But if our opponent has like one more counterspell, we are just going to die to Thrix, unfortunately. If we can't find a Rekindling Phoenix or something. Yep. Mono Blue is generally very bad in this cube, but if you play against derpy mid-range decks like ours and aren't up against the endless mono-red and mono-white players, you can just kill people. Hedron Bribe. Judging Clover is not a good deck, fundamentally. I think maybe I'll end up eating my words on that, but Double Murder Strider just deals you so much damage, and the mana is so much harder. Now, maybe there's like a red-green Clover and you just kind of play Thoughtseize and you ignore Murder Strider. I could see that being a thing, potentially. Okay. Well, it's down to 3 cards, maybe. Well, let's try Glorybringer. See if we can Glorybringer plus Dragonfire. Take this thing down, and then Crawling Baron's attacking for lethal pretty soon, so we don't have a great shot, but maybe we could pull something together. Yep, that's curtains for me. That was a rough game. Obviously not functionally completely dead there, but like dead enough. Yep, we ran into our worst enemy. That wasn't even mono blue tempo, that was just mono blue control. If they were playing tempo cards, our Scorching Dragonfire would have done something. But they were not, and so it did not. Yeah, so that's the kind of game where I wish I could like run it back in best of 3 and take them down. But against most Arena Cube decks, we win that game very easily, and I'm not too mad about it. Just have to get the next 7. Yeah, it looked good there. It's unfortunately really bad against the most popular decks in best of 1, so it's not going to get a good win rate overall. It's definitely a bad matchup for us, but if your opponent goes turn 1 Fanatical Firebrand, turn 2 Magda, you're going to be really sad to be the person with Disallow and Thrix in your deck. Looking pretty good. This is going to be Temple of Abandon first, just to make sure we can hit land drops. Land Royals first doesn't really do anything for me on the next turn. Like, I'm not ramping to anything. So I wanted to make sure we weren't drawing a non-land. Okay, Gutter Bones dies to Scorching Dragonfire, but we'll start with Land Royals here. I don't mind taking 2. You probably want to Dragonfire something slightly stronger than this. Black-Green Rock is a matchup I'm pretty happy to face off against, I think. They are going to be good at killing our creatures, but Escape the Wilds is very likely to be strong in this matchup. Alright. So we'll just Groves here, swing for 1, plan to play a Garg or a Hydra next turn. Our opponent has foretold what is probably Poison the Cup if they are a black-green deck. They're going for Gem Razor. Okay. So I kill this to turn off the haste here, I think? Yeah. Alright, so can't quite Hydra to kill this. I think my move here is play Gargaroth, get Gargaroth, Poison the Cup, and then Hydra the Gem Razor next turn, play Escape the Wilds the turn after that. Gargaroth is like slowly underperforming this cube, I think. There are a lot of ways to kill it. And sometimes mono red spending 2 burn spells on it is just sufficient. But it's still pretty good. Like, I'm not going to cut it from green decks. Just not quite the, like, bomb first pick I thought it might be. Great Henge could be good later. But you're hopefully seeing from this game, like, why Great Henge is not quite as powerful as you might think it is in Cube. It's, like, hard to stick a big creature for any length of time. Could have made Hydra bigger to try and get the Great Henge out very cheaply, and it still blocks Gem Razor, but our opponent's playing black. I don't expect this Hydra to necessarily live through the turn if we try to make it an 8-9. Case in point. Alright, Chariot is lovely. I think we're playing that over Escape the Wilds here, just to keep the pressure on and also potentially play the Henge next turn. Okay, I wanted to make sure I could kill Vraska before I made decisions about the turn, but we were able to. Opponent has cast a 6/6 for 6. Okay, that does beat my board, but I believe we might be able to win this one. So am I slamming Henge here? I think I was playing Escape, actually. Henge does power up Escape a lot. If they just kill it and attack me down to 8, Hell, they'd have to have a way to kill the henge. That's not like a guarantee. Also slightly worried about this escape somehow getting discarded, but if that gets discarded, we're probably keeping the henge at least, which is nice. They've also already used Gem Razor and Sawtooth Demolisher, so at least they probably won't be mutating onto this. Knight of the Ebon Legion is fine. Okay. Okay, escape to Wilds here to do some business. Alright, Sky Sovereign Console Flagship is interesting. Glorybringer. So, Knight of the Avid Legion is quite difficult to kill. Hey there, Inscution. 17 lands does have data on this cube. At least some data on this cube. Alright, so Sky Sovereign lets me kind of chip the knight. I don't think so, actually. Does Glorybringer plan to block with it? It's like awkwardly difficult to take out the knight here. If I make the knight pump, they can't use Bonder's Enclave, though, which seems pretty spectacular. And then Sky Sovereign can trade with Sawtooth Demolisher, which seems good. Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty into that move. Could have played the Awakening. I don't think I'm blocking with Land Elves. Probably was better to play the Awakening as a land there. Shoot this, force the pump. No Bonder's Enclave for you. And we could send with Chariot here. Yeah, they can't pump again. I guess I'm supposed to send with Chariot? No, then I can't crew Sky Sovereign as a blocker. And I think I would like to be able to do that. Also, if I send with Chariot and they kill Land Elves, I guess if I send with Chariot and... Huh. Interesting. I make a cat. I can still crew the Sky Sovereign, actually, at that point. Block the Demolisher. Even if the opponent has, like, removal for the Sky Sovereign. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm not even sure this is right, but it feels good. And if the opponent's willing to trade Knight of the Ebon Legion here, I'm ecstatic about that. That card was very dangerous. Opponent still has a Bonder's Enclave. I would like to take a stab at trading with Sawtooth Demolisher to turn off the Bonder's Enclave. Sky Sovereign could die. Wouldn't be surprised to see that happen, but looks like maybe not. Snakeskin Veil? Snakeskin Veil would be brutal. Okay. Excellent. Oh, my opponent's got the little book pet. That's cute and memory consuming. Veto! Yeah, Veto in a deck with no synergy. You love to see it. Alright, so we'll actually just cast the Valakut Awakening here first, see what we can find. I guess we could have played Glorybringer first, draw the card off of it. That's true. Probably should have done that. Oh well. Isn't likely to matter. Okay. Econometric Escape the Wilds was used to exile those cards. Good old Escape the Wilds. Alright. Naked Kogler or Naked Sawtusk? Naked Sawtusk, I guess? Oh look, Rekindling Phoenix. Oops, I tapped too much red mana. I think we'll be okay, though. I think we'll be okay. Rekindling Phoenix plus Great Henge is pretty poggers. Best of luck, opponent. Okay, that's more like how that's supposed to feel. We definitely should be able to out mid-range people most of the time. You know, Thrix the Sunstorm might actually be pretty good. I'm still thinking about that first game against Mono Blue. Probably underestimating that card. Like, the blue decks especially actually have a lot of stuff that can ramp out for them. And Flash is really good. Yep. Keep this. Snap off that turn 3 Rekindling Phoenix. Cultivator's Caravan as a mana source and a 5/5 is pretty nice to have here. Can at least attack with haste even if they kill my druid here. Sure, fine by me. Delicate Awakening also looking like a really good card to have. Thanks, Kellerman, for the emphasis on using that. So Rekindling Phoenix against Mono Red is pretty poggers. They're going to have to work really hard to get rid of it. It is actually kind of hilarious that Seeka's Chariot can make like an extra bird token also. I wonder if I'm supposed to Chariot here. Yeah, probably supposed to Chariot here actually. It's like more resilient. I'm a little bit worried if I play Phoenix I might just have like 2 burn spells. Which obviously is still good for me, but I feel like this is like a slightly more resilient play. Also, opponent looking like they might be big red. Having no creatures in the first few turns is kind of sus. 3 mana 5/5. The original Lovestruck Beast, chat. Okay, well. Nope, they're just done. Well, I don't know what was in their hand, but apparently it was not enough to stand up to the 3 mana 5/5. Yeah, Zakergrim, you might if you were not playing during Kaladesh, you might well be underestimating vehicles. Vehicles, when they're good, are very good. Kind of want Heart of Kirin in this cube, frankly. Heart of Kirin seems like a really obvious inclusion. Although maybe aggro doesn't need it better than it is. Heart of Kirin also reminds me of like 3 mana Gideon isn't in this cube. Like, why? Neither of the 3 mana Gideons is in this cube. Like, I'm kind of a big cube guy. I just want all the cards to be in. I want to see all the cards occasionally. I want all the games to feel a bit different. I feel like they could grow the cube. Especially once Strixhaven and Mystical Archive is in, they could probably grow this cube to 720 without having to compromise on card quality too much. Or at all. Yeah, Mistastic, sorry if, sorry about that. I noticed that other streams with similarly sized audiences were charging like twice as much and decided to boost it just a little bit. We also recently had the first VIP come in who I didn't recognize, which is fine because they were clearly just like watching the stream a lot and that was still good, but I don't know. It feels kind of arbitrary. Hopefully not going to be too much of an obstacle, but it's good to have the feedback. I'm sorry, Mistastic, to attack you. Jofu, Sarkhan's Unsealing, Slitherblade, gosh, there are definitely others. Cultivator's Caravan was a heck of a draw, by the way. Rekindling Phoenix too? Yeah. Also, just love the constant parade of red-white decks that don't have any 1 or 2 drops. That's a good feeling. Oh, look, a Tibble. How intimidating. Alright, pretty sure this is Rekindling... No, this is Garrick. What am I talking about? Easy Garrick. Ooh, I can Garrick and then kill Tybalt. That actually might be kind of good, huh? Let's do that. I just forgot this was even possible, but let's kill Tybalt. With Rekindling Phoenix making like the egg tokens, I kind of don't want my opponent to have multiple devils running around. Could have also Sawdust to kill Tybalt, but we'd be giving the opponent a 3-3, which I would rather not do. Let's see if they can produce 4 power with haste to kick out Garrick here. Or like a Thundering Rebuke or something. If you ask about no cardboard, that must mean cardboard's down. Okay, opponent produced enough power. That's not bad. Well done. Ooh, the Great Henge. Great Henge is cool. Does Great Henge mean I'm just playing Sawdust Demolister as a 6-6 this turn? I kind of think it does mean that, actually. Here. Okay, good to know. Good to know. I decided not to restart in a panic this time. Alright, opponent, do you have Banishing Light or Angel of Sanctions or something? Uh-oh, feels like they do. Or Perforos's Intervention, I guess? Glorybringer. Glorybringer's fine. Glorybringer is just fine. Okay, that does make it easier for him to kill Rekindling Phoenix eventually, but... Oh, never mind. That's Kogla. Can I cast Kogla? Great Henge makes 2 mana. 3, I'm 1 off of casting Kogla off this Henge. For shame. Alright, I think I just killed Glorybringer this turn. If my opponent has like artifact removal and I get almost no benefit off the Henge, I'm gonna be sad. I don't know, I can see this going multiple ways. By the way, our opponent's super dead. Super duper dead. That is the thing I've liked a lot about the like red-green mid-rangey decks in this format is they just chew. They just chew up and swallow red aggro. Alright, opponent's gonna take out Llanowar, which is fine. They can't kill Kogla, which is the important thing. Llanowar, you did a good job already, buddy. Take a good rest. Trove got a Fury. This card messed me up once in combination with, like, Torbrand. Single burn spell killed my entire board. Fortunately, opponent has cast Bone Splitter directly into Kogla. Ooh, look at Glorybringer. Okay, that should clear things up, I think. Yeah, this is how I picture the game's playing out when we run up against mono blue control. Anybody who's trying to like play creatures and attack us is gonna have a bad time. Most of the time. We got reality. We got a corner of reality poking out. Let's get rid of that. Gotta tell me about that stuff, chat. Come on. Also, a quick announcement is that tomorrow I'm going to be doing the Hunter Pence Invitational stream. Or not Invitational, what's it called? The Sweatsuit Invitational, that's it. They moved away from Kaldheim Draft and are doing a Chaos Draft with a bunch of sets that are fairly recent and available in Arena. So that should be interesting. Chaos Drafts are not, like, my favorite thing to do, even as a novelty, even as a person who enjoys novelty, but still be cool to have a little bit of a change up. Alright, so I'm going to wait on Once Upon a Time here. Hitting Llanowar Elves is not especially beneficial for this hand, so just want to give it another turn and see what we can come up with. I will definitely keep Glorybringer right on top, thank you. Glorybringer is my only Magda target, but that's okay. Alright, I would be glad to trade Magda for Selfless Savior if it comes to that. Alright, so a bunch of lands. We've got all our colors. I'm just going to take Bonder's Enclave here. Nice pain-free Magda. Hey, Sidetrack, what's up? Have you been enjoying the cube? No blocks. Alright. So if they play like a Thalia, I'm going to be a little sad. Clarion Spirit's fine, though. That will be... Oh, we can get Scorching Dragonfire this turn? Fantastic. Whoa! Hey, thanks for the gift sub, Sidetrack. Yes, Once Upon a Time is incredibly broken. That card was so good it made Black-Green Adventures playable. That's how good that card is. Black-Green Adventures was legit, straight-up playable, no lie. No cap. Alright. Alright, so they can burn Selfless Savior to save this. But that's fine. Worst case scenario, they make up 1/1 token next turn or something, and I just Glorybringer their Clarion Spirit. Double spelling with this thing on is not that easy. Nacrocissa says Wednesday. Yes, today is Wednesday. I had a lot of work yesterday. I also have a lot of work today, but I didn't want to delay the stream by too much. So our next two turns are going to be large creatures that are 2-for-1s against our opponent. We will see how they cope with that. Okay, Crop Captain, and they have a shock? Spike Field Hazard. Actual Spike Field Hazard. Alright, cool, cool. You got me. Alright, and I think we zap the Crop Captain here. This represents a lot of damage, and our opponent will stop being able to double spell us pretty soon, I think. I mean, just kill the Clarion Spirit later. Please play Fairgrounds Warden. Please play Fairgrounds Warden on my Glorybringer. Come on, opponent. Fairgrounds Warden. It's an answer and a threat. That also is fine. Wow, let's just got Kaldheim Tribal over there. They've even got the the Kaldheim equipment that wasn't from Kaldheim. That's so cute. Alright, Clarion Spirit 2-2 that made 2/1/1 flyers is not bad. Our opponent still looks like they're going to get chewed up and spit out by Voracious Hydra, not to mention Rekindling Phoenix. Is it worth taking 2 damage to make this bigger? I don't think I'm using this given that I have Bondrous Enclave. Yeah, not letting Usher the Fallen attack through seems good, but having to take 2 damage is really sad, too. Maybe I just kill the Spirit token? Is that crazy? I assume my opponent's last card's a removal spell. That could be kind of dangerous. Yeah, I think I'm just going to shred my opponent's... I have Rekindling Phoenix coming out, so maybe the spirits aren't that much of a threat, and I should just be killing, like, Clarion Spirit? Or something? Or Usher, even? Let's fight Usher here. No, we'll fight Clarion Spirit. Means my opponent can't kick me. They can't equip the Clarion Spirit and attack past me on the ground. So, yeah, if they have the right 2 spells in hand, this could be a tough one. If they have like Hazaret, we could be in trouble. Show to the Scalds. Removal for Hydra is not bad. Lands are fine. Remorseful Cleric is fine. Alright, opponent going hard in the try to kill me direction, which I can appreciate and understand. It's probably not going to work, but I see what they're going for. Oh look, Elder Gargaroth, okay. Well, that's going to help. If by laconic you meant cool and calm and collected, then yes, that would be the right use of the word. All right. Too many giant threats. Too many big ones. All right, so opponent now needs to top deck some kind of removal spell, and then they need to top deck a removal spell for Rekindling Phoenix afterwards. We're now out of like Show to the Scald saving them territory. Yeah. Is that what Google says? Laconic. I just picture as somebody who's just generally laid back. Yeah, we have not drawn Starnheim Unleashed. It would have been quite good in any of these games. Imagine just making 2 4/4s that game. Or like saving our treasure and making 3 4/4s. There's the fact that they're flyers and they also have vigilance so you can pressure your opponent to like stop them from drawing it out. It's just so much. Yeah, I'm also curious about the Zikrim. If you don't mind disclosing information about your identity on the internet, I'm always curious about where folks are watching from. But you don't have to tell us anything about yourself. That is also fine. Yeah, I should tell you all, I thought of a really funny prank to play, and I kind of just want to talk about it as we're waiting for this next game to come. It would have been a prank on Tammy. So last weekend I didn't stream Friday or Saturday because Tammy and I were on a trip that we took. But what I really wanted to do was pre-record a video and then play that video, and it would be a video of me starting a stream. And then the idea is that Tammy and I would like get to our vacation destination, and then she would get a notification on her phone that would say, Aaron Gertler is streaming. And then she'd look up the Twitch stream, and it would just be me streaming. And she'd say, what's going on? And I would say, I don't know, it looks like I'm streaming. But I'd be standing there right next to her at the same time I was streaming, chat, and it would have been such a good prank, but a little bit too much effort to set up for me. A little bit too much effort. Alright, Once Upon a Time saves this hand. Italy, neat. Alright, so Once Upon a Time hopefully finds us a white source or some kind of ramp creature. Incubation Druid or Magda? That's interesting. Where's the land? I think it's Druid here. We are losing a lot of lands, but I have time to draw more. I have multiple viewers who seem to hail from the town of Friendship? That's nice. I hear Friendship is magic. Alright, so Druid might just die here. There was some temptation to jam the Foretell Starnheim Unleashed in case my opponent has, red open and 2 mana and there are a lot of things that kill Druid. That might have been better. Alright, opponent's also trying to ramp. Well, first row in games making a white gold token is another way to produce white mana. Opponent's trying to hit us with ramp threats. We've got our own very good ramp threats. But they are going to get theirs out faster, so we'll see. Wow! Opponent having nothing is outstanding. Is there any flash thing that can eat my creature? I don't think so. Let's try hitting with it. It is a bit sad to have this tap land as opposed to a land that could cast Voracious Hydra as a 4/5 to guarantee the card draw, but it kind of looks like we're drawing these cards. But it didn't Glorybringer us last turn at least. Maybe they'll Kogel us this turn or something. Thragtusk. Yeah, Thragtusk is fine, but definitely below par compared to like the 2021 Magic cards that you can play in this format. I think this is just going to be Rekindling Phoenix for me here. I think the Rekindling Phoenix can hit Planeswalkers if they have any. Kind of a recurring blocker against Thragtusk. And the nice thing here is, maybe my opponent has other good threats. Maybe they can like come up with some stuff. But we're just like slowly building towards Starnheim Unleashed, and whenever we play this card against our opponent's red-green deck, it's just there's going to be very few outs they could have to that. I don't even think there's necessarily a single red sweeper that deals with the 4/4 Angels. Like there's no Storm's Wrath in the cube, none of that. Alright, I think we'll keep Rekindling Phoenix alive here. Lantern. Alright, well, I feel like this Kogla is going to start killing our opponent's stuff really fast. I guess they can use Unstable Obelisk to kill Kogla. This kind of forces the issue, though. They may have some other burn spell, which they could combine with the Beast Fight to kill Kogla. That would be fine. Makes it harder for them to kill Phoenix. Hey, our first follow of the evening. It's Gunnymerks. Hey there, Gunnymerks. Thanks so much. Glad we're getting at least one follow on the night. All right, opponent's letting Kogla go here. Jofu, I've played almost no paper Magic. By the time I got into Magic, at first I didn't really have money to spend on it, and then later, once I had money, I was already playing Arena pretty heavily. I also just don't have a paper play group, so I wouldn't be able to play unless I were at tournaments somewhere, which, you know, my pro Magic career has, if you could call it pro Magic, maybe you couldn't, but my Magic career has overlapped substantially with the pandemic. Alright, Kogla's down, my opponent doesn't have some scary 9-drop. Yeah, they're also just, like, aside from, like, Ulamog, there are not a lot of, like... Oh, is it not Weed? I'm hearing it. Maybe I need to adjust some, like, desktop stuff or something. Audio input capture. Oh, audio input capture is not firing for some reason. I gotta figure that out. Thanks for the notice. Anyway, what am I doing this turn? Probably just Gargaroth. Thing is, like, what kills my opponent the fastest? We could escape the wilds and then try to hit, like, lands and cast Cultivate and then, like, cast a really big Starnheim Unleashed. It's definitely not just Cultivate. Let's go with Escape here. I don't know. We're probably going to win this game in a landslide running away. A lot of different ways we could go about this. And now we'll Cultivate. Yeah, this doesn't add another threat to the board, but it does make Starnheim Unleashed create, like, several additional threats in a future turn. And even if my opponent has literal Ulamog, Starnheim Unleashed still beats the snot out of Ulamog. Not that they can cast Ulamog now anyway. Starnheim Unleashed also beats stuff like Hornet Queen. Yeah, maybe Jofu, maybe. But there are a few large creatures that could still give him a chance. Like, if I Gargan, they play, like, Ulvenwald Hydra. I guess Garrick still sends Gargaroth past that, but... yeah. Game's over, no matter what we do from our hand. Our deck is just such high average card quality. That's a good way to put a grease ball. Yeah, no, deck's gas, and I'm very glad we're playing Glorybringer Rekindling Phoenix. Hopefully I'll have seen the strength of those cards in these matches. Sky Sovereign hasn't had much to do, just because we have, like, so many frickin' cards that do this kind of thing. Definitely not Bow this turn, Necrosis. I would rather play my 4/4 with haste. My opponent's got a Foretold card, which is probably Demon Bolt. So we'll throw the Trample on the creature the Demon Bolt doesn't permanently kill. Yep, sure. Ah, yes. That's fair, Necrosissa. Boat. I agree. Boat. Darn it. So we drew Starnheim Unleashed and we didn't need it. Oh, okay. Oh, for a second I was like, does my opponent have 12 mana? They do not have 12 mana. So they could, like, Kogla. Yeah, okay. Kogla takes out Glorybringer. No, Kogla takes out the bird. Oh, our opponent's in a bad way, chat. Now they're dead. They're very, very dead now. Okay. And we'll just Voracious Hydra them, I guess. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll kill them with the cart. Yeah, well, maybe we'll cast Starnheim Unleashed at some point this queue, but if we never need to, that's still not a bad outcome. Well, this is a good time to take another look at the deck and see, okay. Have we been happy with all the cards have been performing? Zagreum, I don't think our opponent had any way of winning the game just in general from that position, so it's hard to call it a mistake. Yes, Kogla should have reached, I agree. It's like, would probably be slightly OP if it did, but flavorfully it should. Yeah, haven't really been feeling a lack of old growth troll or anything like that. Troll would be nice to cast, but I just don't think we get enough power to for me to want to go at Rekindling Phoenix and Glorybringer. The next mana has been excellent. Yeah, I'm just very happy with how this is going. And we're probably not going to hit another mono blue control deck. Fingers crossed. I should remember not to wear this shirt on stream. It's just buzzing. The green screen really doesn't like it. I could just take it off, but then Twitch would ban me. All right, who wants some? 2 wins away from getting the 7-0. In fact, let's put up a bet. Let's put up a bet right now, since I've remembered to do it. Sure. Stern Unleashed being a 4/4 flyer on turn 3, if we have to do that, is great. No, an island. Not our worst enemy, the island. Terrifying. Okay, phew. So our opponent's going to play some sorcery speed stuff. That's good. Catria Triome. Alright, do I just Valakut Awakening and throw some stuff back? Kinda just want to make an angel here, I think. Is that crazy? I have a 5-drop, I have a 6-drop. I don't get any extra angels next turn. And it lets me draw off Bonder's Enclave if my opponent can't immediately kill it. Alright, this is the first time I've ever cast Stern Unleashed for 1, I'm pretty sure. So, some chance my opponent just kills this. In fact, given their Dimir control, pretty high chance they just kill it, but if they spend a turn killing it, it's a turn they're not drawing with Maze Mind Tome, it's a removal spell they're not using on Gargoth later. Pack a Lunch, what makes you say it's a waste? I mean, what am I supposed to do this turn? Just pass? Cycle Catria Triome? I just feel like it's really good to be able to, at least try to put a bit of pressure on the opponent, make them consider doing something. You know, if my opponent's plan was to cast, an Illyrios this turn, or a Teferi's Tutelage, there we go. Very glad we have a 4/4 in play to pressure them, given they're doing this. Glorybringer, cool. Alright, so Bonner's Enclave draw a card does not guarantee me a threat next turn. Am I willing to give up an entire card so that I can guarantee casting a 4/4 haste next turn? That's a really tough question. I'd have to hit one of my next 2 cards could be an untapped land, and this is worth it. Or if I have the Cadillac or a Garrick or something, that's still fine. That's tough. That's actually really tough. Huh. I have how many untapped lands? 12 in my deck? Something like that? 11? It doesn't need to be a... I mean, I can play Gargroth as well, I guess. Alright, I want to guarantee Glorybringer here, I think. Tough call. Getting Glorybringer countered is a huge punish. Wait, that's true. It would be a punish, but I think my opponent still needs to actually do something about the Angel. Alright, it looks like we were going to miss. Not that that means anything, but... yeah, that would have been a very big punish to not be able to cast anything the next turn. I guess we could have cast the first row in games, to be fair. Guardian Idol, alright. Well, opponent still... Question is, am I supposed to use Valakut Awakening here? I might... Might use the Awakening to try and get rid of Gargaroth here. That might sound weird, but I think that Gargaroth is just not doing a lot for me this game. I would much rather hit, like, Sawtusk Demolisher to take out Tutelage, or, like, Garrick to, like, get a little bit more hasty power in. Or even another land so I can play Kogla on curve, and Kogla actually takes out Tutelage as well. Also helps me hit my 6th untapped land on curve. I think we do this. This also might draw out a counter. Probably not, but be cool if it did. Maybe Patrick. I might up cubing again because I'm having a lot of fun here, but maybe Historic after cube. Okay, drew Garrick. That's cool. And Chariot. That's also pretty cool. So I believe this turn is just going to be Glorybringer. It does get hit by Censor, but I think my opponent's most likely play is just going to draw off Tome. We get hit pretty hard by Languish off of this, but whatever. Could get censored, could get scattered, could get stroked. But nope, it's just Tome. That's fine. Down to 22 cards in library. Yeah, Zagharim this weekend is the qualifier, if I remember correctly. Epiphany live next turn. You mean Alrund's Epiphany? They're a mana short of casting Alrund's Epiphany. You mean Sublime Epiphany? They could, in fact, cast Sublime Epiphany if they had it. But Sublime Epiphany would not be very good here. Like, I'm just going to attack them for 8, force them to, like, I guess bounce the Angel token, and then just cast something after the Epiphany. MCQ Pack-a-Lunch. I haven't actually confirmed this in the schedule, but I've seen other people testing Historic, and I believe it is. If someone could confirm that for me, I'd be grateful as always. Alright, opponent's just Desperation Time, killing the Angel, before I can untap and hexproof them or something. So I believe my move is just to... I think my move is just a Chariot here, actually. Chariot just presents a bunch of overlapping threats. Yeah, one Angel was quite good. One Angel was essential. Garrick can put them to 1, but them being at 1 versus 0 is not that different here. I don't think it's Garrick here. I think it's Asika's Chariot. Because even if they languish, Asika's Chariot still just kills them the turn after that, which Garrick does not do. Oh, I guess they gain life off of Tome if they scry with it. That's still fine, though. Alright, so opponent got to scry 3 times, draw 1, that's fine. Memory's not going to kill me, we have too many cards in library for that to work, even with Tutelage. And Chariot presents a big problem for them. They could Pact of Negation it? Do they have Pact of Negation? Or is this like Disfigure or something? Pact of Negation would be very funny. I guess with the life gain off of Tome, maybe Garrick was the right move there if we assume they just can't answer Glorybringer. But if they answer Glorybringer, it's just a disaster. And they are a blue-black control deck. Valorous Stance, it's Glorybringer, okay. Ooh, Rekindling Phoenix. Sorry, am I doing that or Kogla? Rekindling Phoenix gets countered by fewer things. Yeah, I think this might just be the play. Definitely not Garrick. I definitely want to be able to attack with Chariot this turn. Yeah, Kogla also kills a blocker next turn if they have like a blocker to stand in the way. I guess they have Guardian Idol to stand in the way now, but Guardian Idol is not much of an obstacle, frankly. Garrick makes tokens, weed and magic, but the tokens aren't quite big enough to crew Chariot. Pack-a-Lunch, I have a vehicle in play. The vehicle is why I play the Phoenix before combat. Alright, let's put our opponent back down to 4 here. Fairy's Tutelage looks like it's doing things, but in reality it's not really doing very much. Still not dead to memory. I mean, we continue not being dead to memory because that's not really much of a combo. If they can, like, exile my graveyard and then also memory, I guess we die. If they have, what do you call it? The Lantern? Soul Guide Lantern could kill us here. Fortunately, Econometric, I've played Thassa's Intervention in blue-black enough that it just reminds me of happy, good control decks rather than evil Reclamation control decks. Yeah, so Chariot means they're dead even through a board clear, which is very good. Now I'm going to go for Kogla, because Kogla can crew the Chariot by himself. If the opponent counters this, they are dead. They can't make enough blockers, really. Don't think they have an easy way. I guess Settle the Wreckage could be their way out of this. So if they have Settle the Wreckage, we... They're still dead to Kogla coming in. Kogla with Trample. Sublime Epiphanies doesn't save them. Okay, well, let's see if they have the Settle. Or maybe like Gear Hulk into Commit or Gear Hulk into Valorous Stance. That still doesn't do it. We still get hit by 2 cats. They're definitely thinking hard about something. I wonder what it is. Okay, well, show me the Settle if you have it. Torrential Gear Hulk into... I don't think this does it. Unless they have another interactive spell on top of this. Nope. Okay. Yep, nice Teferi's Tutelage. Nice Teferi's Tutelage. Thanks, Econometric. That was an interesting game. Lots of choices on multiple turns. Starnheim Unleashed was a 4/4 flyer on turn 3. Jolly Flying Men, I continue to disagree with you that Mill is strong. I have played something like... I have played a lot of games in this cube. I have lost exactly once to Mill, and the one game I lost to Mill was a game that any other win condition would have destroyed me because I was just very, very behind regardless. I have been thoroughly unimpressed by every Mill card. Maybe in best of 3 it's better, but I just think the cube's a bit too proactive for that kind of thing to work regularly. Yeah, Jolly Flying Man, the octopus is kind of sweet. But hey, they put Sawdust Demolisher in Historic. Maybe the octopus will eventually be in Historic too. Pack Lunch, I have not done a Strixhaven review. I mean, I don't really plan to do that. I think enough people are doing that pretty much everything there is to say about the set has been said, at least in the previous season. And then once we're all actually playing decks and drafting and such, at that point, you know, I'll probably do my review after I've actually played with the cards some. Jolly Flying Man, is it really... I don't know. I feel like games where Phoenix gets to 10 instants and sorceries in the graveyard, it's probably in good shape regardless of what's been going on. And Proto, I don't know. We just played against a control deck with Teferi's Tutelage, and Teferi's Tutelage was much worse for them than any removal spell would have been, I think. Because it literally didn't do anything. Like, if they've been a bit more efficient at dealing with their threats, maybe the Tutelage would have killed us. Like, it's cool that it's a 3-mana enchantment that can just kill you. But imagine we just had, like, a Naturalize. We just, like, played a Will to Reclamation Sage, and the card just accomplishes nothing at all. Yeah, this is looking solid. I'm hoping that Castle Ardenvale is indicative of a white aggro deck as opposed to a white control deck. This deck definitely chomps on aggro. We can curve Hydra into Henge if Hydra lives. So if our opponent just like plays a tap land and does nothing, my inclination will just be to play a 4/5 Hydra. Okay, yeah, I think that is my inclination then. Cool. Alright, play like a midnight clock or something, opponent. Just play like a midnight clock. Just do something chill. Hey, it's Teferi's Tutelage. Cool. Alright. Oh yeah, midnight clock's definitely a cube. Midnight clock is sick. It's not like necessarily great, but it's sick. Alright, well, would love to draw Sawtooth Demolisher. That would be very funny, but I guess resolving Henge against Tutelage is technically fraught. The fact that there's no Wrath of God in the cube is just insane, because it means I can just play this Gargaroth and just kick my opponent into the ground. Yeah, I'm just going to play Gargaroth. It's just... Opponents spit their first 3 tunes exactly, looting, yes. Alright, so now they need to answer Gargaroth. There's no card that answers both Gargaroth and Hydra, I don't think, for 4 mana. I would have loved to draw Caravan or Harvester, since those are both good against these control decks that can play Wraths, but that's fine. Hey, if they kill Gargaroth, I just get to pump the Druid and attack them for 7? Yep. I mean, our deck is not even as fast as some of the decks in the cube, which is, again, why I'm a bit dubious of Teferi's Tutelage, just conceptually. Like, if we had just played a creature on turn 2 and then a creature on turn 3 and attacked with our creature from turn 2, like, I don't know, Adanto Vanguard into History Benalia, or Adanto Vanguard into, I don't know, anything. Okay, opponent's card is not a card that deals with either threat. Oh no. Oh no, opponent. Oh no. Midnight Clock is a good combo with Teferi's Tutelage, I will acknowledge that, but they are looking real dead here unless they have Wrath. What am I doing? Am I drawing a card or am I making a beast? So they need like Cleansing Nova or something. They need like to go Plains Cleansing Nova, Plains Doomscar. No, they're just dead. Okay. Alright, that's Teferi's Tutelage, folks. Nice Teferi's Tutelage deck. Ay. I hope we all learned an important lesson today about Teferi's Tutelage, chat. Good against bad decks. Bad against good decks. Not where you want to be. Ideally, you want to play cards that are good against both bad and good decks. That would be my advice. This is me like I'm a quarter memeing here, but I'm 3/4 very serious. That was so much fun. I don't want to play Historic, chat. You can play Historic on Friday. We can do all of our Historic testing on Friday. I just want to Cube again. Cube is just such a nice format. Run it back. That's right. 7-1. Yeah, everybody's in for it. We got to teach people about Teferi's Tutelage. Also, my 17 land, I'm finally climbing up the 17 lands leaderboard a little bit. We had a rough run. That if y'all remember that black-white deck I drafted, deck I drafted with Veto and Exquisite Blood because chat wanted me to play those cards together, I went 0-3 with that deck. That deck was terrible. Exquisite Blood is terrible. Never play Exquisite Blood. Alright, let's throw up a prediction based on the cube. Let's see. Here, we'll just do the prediction we did last time. I just want to give people some chance to gamble. Are we going to play at least 10 cards with mana value 4 or greater? Wow, alright. Well, make your predictions now, I guess. We have... There are 2 very different directions we could go in this pack. There's Luminarch Aspirant and there's Mind Stone. Yeah, Jofu, at some point I might start doing more steps like that, I don't know. I might start doing more steps like that at some point. Darn it, well if I take Mind Stone, we're much more likely to play a bunch of 4 mana value cards if I take Luminarch Aspirant. I think both those cards are on very similar power level. Absent other considerations, I think I would just take Luminarch Aspirant and would just play like white-red or white-green or, well, probably one of those two. Mindstone leaves a lot more possibilities open. I think at least to be fair to the people who are making predictions, I'm going to take Mindstone here. Oh, Boros is insane. I'm aware of that. Luminarch Aspirant is probably the best card in the pack. It's better than Mindstone, I think, but I'm going to keep things a little more open. Alright, Immortal Sun continues to keep things open. Immortal Sun is like... legit don't know about this card. Like, yes, it looks very powerful, and it is very powerful if it sticks around. It is also a 6-mana artifact that dies to a lot of stuff, does nothing when it comes to play. It's really only good if you're playing a creature deck, but it doesn't really go well in creature decks because the creature decks don't want 6-drops. Like, I'm somewhat more inclined to go like Voracious Greatshark or Beanstalk Giant. I think Voracious Greatshark is quite powerful. Yeah, I'm like kind of skeptical of the Immortal Sun, having played a bunch of this cube and like seen it be awkward rather than helpful, like a high proportion of the time. But it is colorless. All right, let's try Sun. I'm gonna note that I'm skeptical about this card. In theory, it's the best thing in this pack. I am skeptical about Sun. Okay, so now we've got Treasure Map, which definitely having picked like 2 do-nothing artifacts, I'm not really interested in picking a 3rd do-nothing artifact. We have to start picking cards that do things at some point. This is between Yorion and Brazen Borrower, I think. If we take in Great Shark, it would be Easy Borrower. I think I lean Yorion at this point. Yeah, like a good Yorion deck. It's only medium. It's like not the easiest card to actually build around. Well, here's a Torrential Gearhulk. And that's the thing, is like there's like a lot of cards that don't go with Immortal Sun very well. Gearhulk is one of those. Helm of the Host still in this cube for some inexplicable reason. Yeah, definitely not. I mean, our first 3 picks just don't have nothing to do with Wilderness Reclamation. Yeah, I'm just gonna take Torrential Gearhulk. Torrential Gearhulk is messed up, and hey, we're just not even gonna play the Sun. Hey, Demonic Pact. There's a card that goes with Yorion. All right, chat. This is gonna be my draft where I like just kind of meme a little bit. There is no Inspiring Statuary. No, that card is. I'm glad that one's not in the cube. It wouldn't do very well. Easy Demonic Pact, I think. Not the best pick for us. Probably the best pick would be something like Charter Course or potentially Warden. Actually, Warden would be quite good. Let's just take Demonic Pact. We have a Yorion. Let's do this. Cloud Blazer. We have a Yorion. Into the Royal, though. Pretty sure this is easy into the Royal. Works with Torrential Gearhulk. Works to bounce our Demonic Pact back. We don't have to go to a 3rd color for it. Patrick IJ, maybe nobody is taking Demonic Pact, so it don't wheel, but I love Demonic Pact. Alright, so this is between Negate, Obelisk, Pact of Negation. LSV thinks this is one of the best cards in the cube, which is super confusing to me. I don't really understand it. Like, skipping your whole next turn is a lot. Negate Obelisk Pact. Negate Obelisk Pact. But like 3 mana ramp, this ability is like rarely going to come into use. Let's try Pact. Might as well be playing Lose the Game Tribal here. Okay, Scholar of the Lost Trove. Well, this gets back Immortal Sun if they kill it. And gets back to Demonic Pact if that dies somehow. We also just take Farmland. Scholar's not bad, but it's not great. Maybe it's just Farmland. Yeah, white cards go well with Demonic Pact. I'll note you can get like Shepherd of the Flock and stuff to bounce it back. Okay, unfortunately now we see a card that's really, really good with Scholar of the Lost Trove, because Inscription of Insight Wield. I'm going to take that over the Thirst for Knowledge here. Yeah, I think there. If you're drafting a dirtily controlled deck, I don't think you have time to cast Thirst for Knowledge in general. Okay, this is interesting. Skyclave Carrick versus Castle Lochthwain. Okay, yeah, I've got Yorion and stuff. I think I'm pretty in for Skyclave Cleric. I like not dying to aggro every time. Now, are we even playing white? I don't know, but I don't think we're going to be a good Castle Lochthwain deck. So here we're looking for good counters, good instant speed removal, stuff that interacts with Demonic Pact. Saheeli, Wellness Reclamation? Hey, Megaterras, this could be a Wellness Reclamation deck. It's going pretty well. Had so much fun the last cube draft that we're just running it back again. Hieroglyphic Illumination, lovely. Alright, so we got this great blue control deck going here. We just need to make it so we're not dying to aggro every time. So, some of the directions we were looking at we could go in are like doing more like Yorion flavored blinky things, or doing more Wilderness Reclamations flavored flash things. Of course, Yorion is only one card in our deck, and Wilderness Reclamation is only one card in our deck, so we want to try and display the best deck we can. Mythos of Balloon is pretty good, as I mentioned last draft. The card always does something. It's cool with Demonic Pact, it's cool with Yorion. Folio Fancy is just like Teferi, is like a worse Teferi's Tutelage, just hot garbage. We're not doing that. Thassa's Oracle is cute, but one of those cards you should probably just remove from the cube. I don't think I've ever seen that one win a game. We could take Llanowar Elves, which is super powerful with Wilderness Reclamation. Not powerful, like, it's powerful for green deck. It's not powerful with Reclamation specifically, but it's like a really powerful card that goes with Reclamation Plan. Or we could just take Mythos. I think taking Llanowar Elves, this might look weird, but I just don't know that we needed another 4-drop in that deck. We also might will Hornet Queen, which would be sick. Okay, so now I actually have to pick what direction I'm going in. There are a bunch of different things we could do here. Charming Prince, obviously great with Yorion. Just a solid card overall. It's fine against aggro too. Cleansing Nova, an actual Wrath effect. These are really powerful in the cube. Like, there are not very many of these. People don't really play around them. You can just get people very hard. Kinds of sends us more into a blue-white direction, which is fine. We could wheel Prince or Raven's Warning. There's also Explore, which is super good if we're doing the green ramp thing. And we're trying to, like, Wilderness Reclaim people. Sounds beautiful, Clarm. Man, so many options. I think this is Explore. I think I'm pretty into trying to do the ramp thing. I don't know. Now I'm going to take Elspeth Conquers Death. Alright, so I don't think we're playing Demonic Pact, sadly. I think we're playing Bant Ramp. But we're getting some good lands. That's cool. I'm going to take Bark Channel Pathway here over Emiria's Call and Florahedron. We do need to make sure our colors actually function. Emiria's Call is like pretty darn good if we're just blue-white, but I think these... I like the look of these green cards. Sorry, Demonic Pact, didn't quite work out there. Okay, I think this is probably just... So Neutralize versus Birth of Meletus here. Probably Neutralize. Yeah, we actually have a pretty good cheap curve here. Neutralize is much more powerful with your whole kind of Reclamation. So some really good cards that would be great in our deck that I don't usually play would be like Sphinx's Revelation. Alright, well this pack is full of garbage. Just nothing here. Guess we'll take Hostage Taker in case that does something. Thirst for Meeting is obviously good with Gearhulk and Reclamation stuff, but I still am just not that interested in playing like 3 mana to kind of like draw some cards and set up my hand. If I knew we were wheeling Cleansing Nova, then maybe, but I'm more interested in keeping my options open, like maybe I end up going black after all. Oof. Alright, well, Shepherd of the Flock would be our Esper Demonic Pact card. Commit to Memory is our like generic Wilderness Reclamation card. We really have to make a decision now. Are we doing green reclamation things, or am I doing Esper blink things? Darn, this is close. It's tough. It's tough. It's really tough. I'll take this. It works in Bant as well as Esper. Now I guess I'll take Disallow. Yeah, okay. Branchloft Pathway, alright. Raven's Warning, looking real good. Castle Ardenvale's also kind of cute with Reclamation, but... there's Kazandu Mammoth as well. I wanted to try the Raven's Warning for a while. This deck is probably not going to get 7 wins. I'm really more playing around in the space here. But, we'll give it a shot. Okay, saw it coming. Another counterspell, or take Terramorphic Expanse for fixing. We've got 3 Bant fixers at this point. I think I like the Expanse a bit more there. Close call maybe. Tangled Florahedron over... Yeah, so if we're doing Esper things, Eliminate would be a great pickup here. I suppose like Florahedron well enough. Okay, Birth Leaves coming around is great. And maybe this is a deck that can play through Serene if we get enough early stuff. Wow, 15th pick commits memory. Alright, well, we're the only people in blue, chat. We're the only people in blue, which is a good place to be. Okay, this deck offers a lot of options. There's Once Upon a Time, obviously not nearly as good in this deck as it was in the last one, because we're not playing very many creatures. Still pretty good with Wilderness Reclamation. It's cute that can help us, like, you know, it's an instant for Reclamation. It helps us find Gear Hulk. Landover Visionary is probably what we're going to take here. This is like a really powerful effect. Supreme Will, like, we're going to wheel one of these blue cards. And they're all, like, fairly similar on power level. See, I believe this is just Visionary. It's just so good with Yorion. Alright, so I'm seeing a Noxious Gear Hulk and a Vraska that we could have had for the Demonic Pact version of the deck. I'm also seeing a Woeful Haven, which I like a lot. This card's good with Reclamation. An Illyrios will probably wheel that we can blink. There's also a Voracious Hydra. This card's also pretty good. We have a lot of ramp, huh? With Explorer, Florahedron, Visionary, Mindstone, Llanowar Elves, actually we probably want Hydra instead. We're like actually pretty heavy green. Huh, well. This is both a good Cosima deck and a good Scoot Swarm deck. I'm pretty sure I know what chat wants out of those two options. Is that what I also want? Scoot Swarm plus the Immortal Sun is pretty sick. Alright. Scoot Swarm won me some games in a recent draft. I'm pretty fondly inclined towards Scoot Swarm. Hypnotic Sprite. Why is this... This card seemed so good when it was previewed. It's just nothing. It's just not a thing. Dryad does do the mana fixing thing. We don't have that much card draw. This is obviously great with like Commit to Memory specifically. And will occasionally be good as Scoot Swarm, but I think this is actually just Solundi Vision. Ashaya Scoot Swarm is certainly cute. Solundi Vision hits an instant or sorcery? Yeah, we'll take Solundi Vision. Okay, so there's only one playable blue card in this pack, and it is Lay Claim. Obviously, Anguirus is a pretty funny combo with Scoot Swarm if you can pull that off. But I don't think this is what I'm looking to do. It's also a decent creature as far as like blocking goes. Yeah, we'll take Lay Claim or a ramp deck. Lay Claim's great. Alright, well, Toski's cute with Scoot Swarm, but somebody passed us a 6th pick Sublime Epiphany, chat. 6th pick Sublime Epiphany. Goodness gracious. And while I do like Baral's expertise in decks of this kind, and Swordtooth could also be kind of cute, Hallowed Fountain is like a little too good to pass up. That's an Asika's Chariot. That's an Asika's Chariot. Show some respect, people, come on. Be respectful. Asika's Chariot plus Shepherd of the Flock, poggers. Asika's Chariot plus Yorion, poggers. Well, this deck is going to have some fun games, I think. I don't know if we're going to win those games, but we are going to get some value. For sure. By the way, if you're watching the stream and you haven't followed it yet, consider following it. We do lots of cool nonsense around here. This card's also pretty good with Scoot Swarm, huh? We actually have a decent number of cheap creatures that work with it. Skyclave Cleric is a core. Nah, I'm just going to take Supreme Will. Okay, Wolfwool Haven versus Illyrios, and we are a Yorion deck that also has access to Asika's Chariot and Shepherd of the Flock. Gotta just be Haven, though, I think. Or, actually, this could be a great Boon of the Wishgiver deck, come to think of it. You might try Boon, I don't know. That might be completely wrong, but I'm kind of interested. Palladium Mirror, I doubt it. Is there a world where I can splash Hostage Taker off of Drowned Catacomb Darkboard pathway? I do not think there is. Okay, Brawl's Expertise. That's a card we might play. This is going to be an interesting deck to build. I think, yeah, this is definitely a let's put it all back and build up from scratch kind of cool. Okay, so definite inclusions: Sublime Epiphany, Torrential Gearhulk, Commit to Memory, Land of Elves, Explorer, Florahedron Visionary, Scoot Swarm Chariot, Wilderness Reclamation of Voracious Hydra. You know, that's actually a good question. I don't. We were at 50 cards. That was 33 playables. You know, this might be the pool that could do it. 27 lands, Companion Yorion. We're like 1 or 2 playables short. I guess we can just play Palladium Mirror. That puts us at 26 lands. Oh, except we don't have Yorion anymore, so we're still on 27 lands at that point. Oy, I don't know if that works. I'm really dubious that works. We have to play like Aronis or something. Darn it, this. I feel like if somebody just like donated, I just like want someone to donate $10, so I'll do this. It's gonna like ruin my draft and ruin my leaderboard standing, but I mean we'll counter the mill decks, I guess. That's true in a certain sense. All right, how many actual playable cards do we have here? What does this do? We have to find 47 more cards. We can play like... Okay, so this is 27 lands. I'm not playing Bone Splitter. We're playing 27 lands. We're also playing Tangled Florahedron and Skyclave Cleric. Alright, we'll try this for one game, and then after that game, we're going to build, like, the real version of the deck, I think. Oh, we're also playing Solemnity Vision, just, like, a bunch of bad spell lands. Oh, no. Oh, no, chat. Oh, no. Alright, we'll try it for one game. Highly likely that I'm going to abandon ship after that. Hey, Orts! Alright, we got a sub. Let's do this. What's my mana distribution here? I mean, we're companioning, which means this is Ikoria, which means we're playing Godzilla lands in the deck. We're going to want... we're not actually playing that much white, despite Elspeth Conqueror's death, so we're going to try to take it easy there. Hey, Dr. Sisto with a resub. Hey there, hey there. We're almost at a hype trade. You got one more sub, the hype train will start, whatever that means. That's 6 white sources, 7 white sources, 8 white sources. We gotta at least get to 9, I think. Hey, Uranium Spoon! First time subscriber, thanks so much. Alright, this is good. This is good, chat. This is how you give me positive reinforcement and make me do the things that you want me to do. Tammy never seems to learn that lesson, but I'm glad that chat knows about positive reinforcement.
Did I hear some sub-hypes?
You did hear some sub-hypes, Tammy.
Yay!
Yay, sub-hypes. I mean, I guess we got other colored sources out of our crappy spell lands. That's nice. Hey, the Falcon, thanks for the sub as well. This is awesome. This is awesome. All right. Yorion Companion. At least one game. We'll play at least one game of this. Where's my green Godzilla land? There he is. All right. 60 cards. Yorion Companion. Yes, Weed Magic. I have not been playing with the settings during the stream. We'll probably play afterwards. The Canadian Life. I don't know. We win by... Sam Black has a really good quote about this that I wish I could, like, copy if I remember it well enough, but we're going to play by, like, casting our creatures, getting value, and eventually having more stuff than our opponent and killing them with our stuff. So, Asika's Chariot, Hydra, Torrential Gearhulk, Sublime Epiphany, the Immortal Sun, Scoot Swarm, Yorion just beating our opponent down. Lots of options. I will note that Raven's Warning only really gets Bone Splitter right now. Raven's Warning only actually gets Bone Splitter. So, we'll have to see if that ever becomes relevant. Alright, up against MTG Wiki. I've seen this person a couple times in Cuban times. Okay. Yeah, I guess we keep this. It's got some colors of mana in it. Let's start with Seramorphic Expanse in case I draw, like, a Plains and it turns out my opponent's aggressive and so I want to cast Skyclave Cleric against them. It's like a reasonable hand other than the part where we're getting Bone Splitter out of our library. Thank God it's a May. The Canadian Life, yes. We'll try to smash. Do not know what our opponent's gender is, so... if you have knowledge of that, that's fine, but try to remember the rule against default hymns. But yes, I appreciate the encouragement very much. Peter Dacelli, we have a drowned catacomb. I think you can actually always grab basic lands off of Raven's Warning if I remember how it works from Kaldheim correctly. Alright, I'm gonna play this to get a white source down. So we've got, I don't know what we're doing next turn. Probably Visionary over Raven's Warning. See what our opponent goes for here. Gifted Aetherborn, sure. So opponent knows that something's up. Yeah, losing access to, like, the wish board that we can get off Raven's Warning. I'm going to start with Visionary here. I would rather be able to blink Raven's Warning with Yorion. Yes, our opponent is presumably a genderless website. That's another good way to put it. Yeah, Amigo Cheras. I mean, we'd only be able to get Hostage Shaker when we literally drew Drowned Catacomb as well, though. Which seems like fairly unlikely to work out. Never sure. I feel like our opponent will eventually be clued into our Pact of Negation, but that's fine. Okay, Negate. So this just looks like, I think Bertham will let us hold up Negate here. I'd rather be able to, like, get Yorion out and then eventually Raven's Warning later. Canadian Life, try not to be, like, super mean to our opponents here, especially when it's far from obvious that was a bad play. Like, if Never is the only 3-drop in their hand, which is very possible, you definitely want to kill my, like, creature that makes mana. There's absolutely no reason to think that's, like, a bad play. Rankle. Yikes. Alright, well, Rankle's gonna shred me pretty well. Couldn't pact it, can't Gear Hulk it, can block it with Yorion eventually. Oh, my opponent's drawing cards for me. That's kind of them. I like that part. Voracious Hydra can kill Rankle. Let's go explore, see what we hit off of this. Hallowed Fountain. Alright, so we'll go Plains. Raven's Warning. This might just be blocking Rankle for a turn, but that's fine. We can also Pact here. I don't think I'm going to want to do that, but we could if we had to. Alright. I guess this gains 2 life when it hits them. Did I just take this hit? I think I just take this hit. Yeah, Rankle's a really cool card. Super agree. Alright, they continue to give me cards. I'm not able to do much with the cards. Hand Intel also... Oh, they played Cosmos Elixir. That's cool. They unfortunately are going to draw a lot of cards off of that. Do I have to stop that from happening? Do I have to counter this? You know what? I'm just going to say they can have as many cards as they want. Time Face, thanks for the sub. No, my bird. That's so rude. Oh no. Alright, well, we're probably losing this one, chat. Also, our mana is much worse in the 60-card version of this deck, which is why I can't use this Voracious Hydra yet. Very sad stuff. Okay, so we're going to look and go... What am I doing here? I think we're looking to, like, cycle Hieroglyphic Illumination into playing Gearhulk here. Is the move. Just draw a billion cards and hope that we can somehow climb our way out of this. Gutter Bones is acceptable. Canadian Life, I mean, not right now, I don't. I have a Sublime Epiphany somewhere, which we will be looking for. I guess I could have cycled the Illumination on my turn. If I drew green, I could have Voracious Hydra the Rankle. That might have been pretty good. Alright, well, we'll see. Drew Chart a Course. It's not super helpful. Yeah, we also don't have that Cleansing Nova, which could clean this up pretty nicely. Put it as in return, but fortunately that's a sorcery. Okay, we drew ECD. ECD takes down Rankle. I'm just going to trade with Gifted Aetherborn. I don't see this getting better for me. Opponent can force me to sack with Rankle, but can't really avoid that. I mean, we're dying pretty quickly here, but Elspeth Conqueror's Death plus Pact of Negation might let us hold our opponent off long enough if they don't play anything else devastating this turn. Because we're almost at ECD into then play Yorion and get back ECD territory. Okay, we're not dead. This is good. We're not dead. Don't play another 1 mana 2 power creature. Felmire Knight, acceptable. Acceptable, does not kill me. Wilderness Reclamation, not right now. Oh, actually, I want the second forest. Okay, I want the second forest. I would like to be able to cast Voracious Hydra at some point. Alright, so ECD. Snap off Rankle. Hold up Negate, or do I put Yorion into my hand? We need to be able to block 3 creatures next turn. Voracious Hydra accounts for 2 of those. Huh. I can Voracious Hydra plus Yorion, but, like, getting back the ECD is not really going to do much for me. How am I going to... Can put Yorion top with Saga. Is that true? I mean, anything can kill me, but Mono Black does not have pump spells, the Canadian Life. As a general rule, do not assume that Mono Black is going to have a pump spell. Alright. So am I charting? Am I just Yorioning? Yorion just doesn't help, unfortunately. I think we have to chart a course here. Because I think my next turn needs to be like Hydra plus something else. Yes, I mean, the Canadian Life, I would, maybe you should look at the cube list and like try to mention specific cards, because yes, we died to a lot, but I don't think Mono Black has a lot of ways to actually deal a damage. We also have Pact of Negation if we need it. I think we have to chart a course. Okay, Into the Royal. Into the Royal is perfect. Into the Royal is absolutely perfect. Okay, so now we're going to discard this island. We have enough land drops already. So we can go like, can't quite Reclamation plus Hydra. If we played a forest, we could have had access to... Alright. Bolus's Citadel. Well, that's horrifying news. That's fine in the Canadian Life, that's fine. Just cool with the suggestions a bit. I mean, if we packed it, can we win? If we packed it, we go to 1. We can play Hydra, kill something, block something. But we don't have mana for Into the Royal anymore, I'm pretty sure. We're only at 7 mana right now. Yeah, next turn we'll go to 8. We have to pay down. Yeah, we can't even play very... So we have to let this resolve. It is pretty bad. We're going to lose to Bolas' Citadel. Nearly guaranteed going to lose to Bolas' Citadel. But we can't actually stop it. Sure. That's actually funny. Casting this gets them no cards from Cosmos Elixir this turn. Yes, this is a pretty bad situation. Willing to admit this is a pretty bad situation for us. So, Inscription of Insight. You know what? Inscription of Insight keeps us alive. Can I somehow get Wilderness Reclamation down this turn? And then use, like, Inscription? No, I'm a little short of doing that. Okay, Inscription of Insight was the card we could draw. In answer to that question. So, here comes... Like, we're dead if they have removal in hand, unfortunately. No, we can pack removal. We're not dead to removal in hand. So we need to go... I have 9 mana. I mean, I can't Into the Road. Into the Road deals with 1 threat. I need to deal with 2 threats. Hydra deals with 2 things. It fights 1 and kills 1. It fights 1, blocks 1. Inscription of Insight also deals with 2 things. How much is Inscription to kick? It's 8 mana, and unfortunately only makes 1 creature, which is not enough. And I can't quite get down Reclamation this turn, because we're gonna still die to their stuff. Okay, so we fight the Shade here, I guess. And we Inscription of Insight, bouncing the Knight and the Gutterbones, sure, whatever. We have a Pact of Negation for removal spell. Then Elspeth Conqueror's Death goes off and we get something back. Our opponent has a Bolas' Citadel, so we're still like 99% to lose or something like that. Like, actual factual 99% to lose, I'm pretty sure. Like, very likely that one of the 5 cards in their hand is a spell that can kill Voracious Hydra, at which point we have to pact it. But we'll see. Crippling Fear. Okay. I don't have to pack that, so I'm not going to. Opponent has named it Jackal. Sure. Okay, so we have to get rid of Bolas' Citadel, by the way. Our opponent's at 14 cards in their library. This is becoming interesting. So Torrential Gearhulk gets me back actual nothing, unfortunately. So I think I want the 3/3 that draws a card over the 6/7 that doesn't do anything. Yeah. Can I Into the Royal Elspeth? That's a good question. I could have. Yeah, that was actually probably the play. That was probably the play, huh? Oh well. So we'll do this. We'll Into the Royal, targeting the Citadel. Hit a Plains. Whoops, alright. It's been a long time since I had a Willis Reclamation in the battlefield. I do need to remember how to use my my stops. Bolas' Citadel gets negated. I should actually be casting Thirst for Meaning before I do any of this stuff, I think. Yeah, Into the Royal would have let me... Yeah, I had a better play that turn, but I'm on 2 timeouts. Shoot. Alright, well, somebody punt me. There were other ways to play that turn that would have been much better than the way I chose to play it. That is for sure. Ouch. Well, that's not the best set of draws I've ever had. Yikes. Alright, we might run out of gas here. I've already used Hieroglyphic Illumination twice, and now I've used my... pretty much all my other draw spells, unfortunately. We do get to play Yorion out. Boon of the Wishgiver! Hey! Wow, I actually need this to draw me like a creature, huh? I do need this to draw me a creature. Alright, let me stop on my end step here. Come on, Boon, you can do it. Scoot Swarm! Alright, I'm glad I remembered not to play my land before I did all that stuff. Okay, am I playing Salinity Vision now? Is there any reason to play Salinity Vision now? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. We've got... So our opponent kills us by equipping Shadow Spear to Gutterbones right now. So I need to get, like, a bounce spell, I guess, for that. We are not quite at the point where Scoot's Form can actually win us the game. Yeah, I might as well Salinity Vision now, because I can just scoop if it misses, or sack Mind Stone. Let me actually sack Mind Stone. See what I find off of this. Almost certainly not the first Jackal name and answer to that question. Alright, let's try Salinity Vision, see what I can find here. Playing Yorion guaranteed me a creature. That's true. I could have just played Yorion, held a Pact of Negation, and hoped for the best, but I think once I drew the draw 4, I was like pretty honor bound to like try and use the draw 4 that turn as like a way of beating the opponent who has 9 cards in hand while I'm on 1 life. Okay. Goodbye. No. What a deck to play Languish in. I guess that's just like the mono black story. Gotta keep remembering to set this stop. Okay, Skyclave Shade plus Shadow Spear is still pretty scary. It's going to be a little while before I have enough Scoot Swarms to stop that, but I do have Yorion, which can do something. My opponent's down to 11 cards right now. I actually can't put Yorion to play now, though, so I'm going to have to use Memory, Neutralize. So is this a cast Memory and Hope kind of move for me? We don't quite win, unfortunately. My opponent can still just equip the Shade and have me dead. So I think we need to Memory into some kind of interaction here. Yeah, Clarmdurndal. This is the black has a bit of a mixed identity in this cube. All right, so Memory. If we Memory, well, there's only at 19 cards in library. Maybe it'll be fine. Yeah, we need to do this or we're dying. And we'll see if I can find something to not die. Disallow. Ooh. Okay, we have farmland. We can cycle the farmland. So, in response to this, we do this. We untap some stuff. I cycle the farmland. Explorer, sadly, is not... Into the Royal! Into the Royal, chat! Into the Royal, we're still doing it. Maybe. A lot of stuff could kill us. Lot of stuff could kill us, but we're frickin' fighting. We're frickin' fighting here. They attack with Falmire? They are attacking with Falmire. I am going to be obliged to block that. Oh, I'm terrified for sure, Necrocissa, but... Double land next turn is going to be pretty good. We have 1 Disallow to stop like a Languish or a Crippling Fear, which we are going to have to use here. Have they got the Crippling Fear as well? That would be very funny if they just had Crippling Fear too. Or anything that deals 1 damage, you know. That would also be fine. Disfigure. Alright, that's fine. Not too effective. Gifted Aetherborn, also fine. This is all fine. Chart a Course. That's neat. We'll start with Explorer. Yeah, we can attack and use Chart a Course if I want to. Not sure I want to yet. I think the most important thing is making sure I have access to counter magic. So I should Mind Stone here. I don't think I need to attack here. I think it's better. I would like to just be able to use... Actually, I should play Visionary. There we go. I'm kind of doing things in a bit of a wonky order, but whatever. Drew neutralized, that's great. Okay, cast that, discard one of the lands. It's pretty useless to me, that's fine. And I think we thirst. No, I'll put Yori into hand here. And then I can thirst with the mana floating off of Wilderness Wreck. Gosh, can you even believe this card was legal for like any length of time? I sometimes can't. Well, you could discard Elspeth Conqueror's Death. I don't think I want to, though. We'll just discard 2 lands. Yeah, easy discard 2 lands. We got Neutralize. We got Mind Stone to draw a card. Okay. Your move, opponent. Bolas's Citadel. Do I care enough about Bolas's Citadel? If I neutralize Bolas's Citadel, I die to Rankle, but my opponent would have Rankled last turn if they had Rankle. So I think we do neutralize the Citadel. Maybe I'm going to crack Mind Stone first, actually, just to let me have a better sense of what my options are. Plains, okay. Oh, I exiled Rankled ECD. Okay, that's true. Never mind, they can't Rankle me. Alright, neutralize it is. It's a little scary, because after this I am out of stuff. And, like, ECD doesn't actually hit any... I guess the ECD hits Cosmos Elixir for whatever that's worth, which seems like not much. We're into 15 cards now. We're at 27. Like, they get to kill a lot of Scoot Swarms here. Oh, well. That was sad. Alright, chat. Well, you got your money's worth with that game, I hope. Imagine this deck with 40 cards. Imagine this deck with 40 cards. Time Race, thanks for the follow. And this, Time Face, sorry. You followed and then subscribed, and I totally missed the follow part. It was very chaotic. Nivy, thanks for the follow. Alright, well. Catacomb in. Lol, 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 lol. What a conclusion to draw. Alright, let's rebuild this deck from the ground up. Never cast Yorion. Oh gosh. Might have won if we under the Royal Elspeth, that's true. But I think the like horrible mana flood at the end did demonstrate the like severe problems with trying to actually run this version of the deck. We're just playing 30 lands, right? 30 lands is way too many. Still a heck of a game, though. Heck of a game. Yeah, the colored mana situation was also horrific. Oh, I should leave one of each base again. We'll still run the Godzilla lands. Okay, so Yorion, back in. ECD, yes. Birth Meletus, yes. Shepherd of the Flock, yes. Skyclip Cleric, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. Very good. Okay, so we're going to play presumably about 17, probably 16 lands since we have 3 tap lands, which means I should be playing the Selene Division. So that puts me at 3 more spells to add, which will be Mind Stone, the Immortal Sun, and Into the Royal. Might not be an Immortal Sun deck, honestly. Yeah, Clarm Durandal. If we get the Hydra down a few turns early, I mean, who knows it was in their hand at the time, but yeah, having double green earlier might have done something. I don't really think Pact of Negation seems very good. Maybe we could run it over Immortal Sun. We are a ramp deck, though. Immortal Sun is still a great thing to ramp into. Alright, maybe there's something else I'm supposed to cut here. Oh, we're not playing Lay Claim at the moment. Yeah, we could easily play a 50 card. Yeah, Patrick, there were probably some misplays in that game. It was very chaotic. I think the 60 card version of this deck can win some games. I just think we're going to win more games with the focused 40 card version that draws Wilderness Reclamation more often. And has, like, plausible mana. Yeah, having a Saga with a sideboard, yeah, we could play the Raven's Warning. Raven's Warning might be fine. Still not that excited by it. It's still kind of a low-powered card, but it's interesting, and I still would like to play an interesting deck. What are we cutting, though? Like, this feels pretty tight. Cut Shepherd, maybe? It is, like, a good 2-for-1. It's also, like, one of my favorite cards in the entire game of Magic. Could cut one of the 3-drop counters. Could also cut Solundi Vision, I suppose. Yeah, I guess we have Birth and Elitus. Alright, Immortal Sun versus Lake Claim. Which of those is likely to be better? The ramp creature. You mean Palladium Mirror? I don't think Palladium Mirror is very good. Palladium Mirror dies to everything. Literally every burn spell, every removal spell, every artifact destruction spell. I think Palladium Mirror is quite weak. Like, there are some decks that'll win. I don't think ours is one of them. Okay, I think something like this seems good enough. Everything but Spyfield Hazard, yes. I think I want Lake Claim over Immortal Sun. And then we'll go to 3 white sources. No, probably not actually. Yeah, 7 white sources, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green sources, 9 with that, and then we got 7, 8 blue sources. That seems acceptable. Could go to 9 blue sources, 8 green sources. The mana is still a bit rough, sadly. At least it's not as bad as it was. Alright, we'll try this. This might be too much ramp and too few spells. Works. Birth and Lead is looking real sad here, but so it goes. Yeah, deck's a lot cleaner. There's still some flaws in it, but we are going to be better at executing actual game plans. Hey, Baby Blue, it has been a good night. We went 7-1 with a very focused, powerful cube deck, and then played an amazing game to a loss with 60-card Yorion. Note, Necrocista, they're just 2 cards with different names that sort of fit slightly better on different planes of Magic. Okay, looks like we're up against a controlling deck this time, rather than... I guess our last opponent was more mid-range than aggro, per se, but... Five color? We're just chilling, okay? That's a white source. Would love that last turn, but... See if this one gets censored. Nope. Sick. Here's a white source. Understandable, Necrocissa. It's a very reasonable thing to be confused by. Alright, that's another forest. That was the draw in our deck that we needed least of all the draws. Do I just play a large Hydra this turn? Or do I play farmland, like attack for 2 and set up to cast into the Royal at some point? I'm honestly kind of interested in large Hydra here. Like, just making a 6/7 is one way to kill people. Yeah, I think I want to find a way to get... Oh, you did not miss a prediction. There is no prediction. Whoops. Oh, wait, there was... Oh, there was a prediction. All right, did I play at least 10 cards of 4+ mana value? Well, we played a 60-card deck, so the answer was yes, I did. Okay. Congratulations, everybody. Wow! Okay, the foretold card was Doomscar. I almost forgot that was even in the cube. Okay, opponent got their value in a certain sense. Alright. Well, we got Yorian, we got Big Scoot Swarm coming in. Our opponent already used their Sweeper, which is good news for Scoot Swarm. Although a Scoot Swarm without like an Explorer effect on top of it still can get ground down pretty well. Will of Draw Terramorphic Expanse. Or Explore, either of those would be excellent. Wow! Alright, chat. You want to see me get punished for playing a 40-card deck? Here we go. Oh, this is what I get for trying to have fun. Well, actually, this is what I get for trying to build a good focus deck, chat. Should have tried to have more fun. At least they played this after I played Birth of Meletus. Sublime Epiphany and Commit to Memory are both gone. That's sad. Oh, right, we drew a Plains. Love Plains. Love drawn Plains. Alright. We can at least bounce our Scoot Swarm back if our opponent has another Sweeper. My lay claim! Oh no, I want to draw that one too. We still have a Seeka's Chariot. We still have Torrential Gearhulk. And we do have an active Scoot Swarm. Mirari's Wake. I think that's fine. My plan is just to enter the Royal that once I can draw the card off of it. Hieroglyphic Illumination's kind of nice. Okay. Oh, Gearhulk got banished? Nah, we still have Gearhulk. Okay, so we royal this. Yeah, we just royal them Wake here, I think. Do they have stuff still? Some kind of instant speed thingy? Do they have Negate? Negate would be less sad. Good. Oh, okay. ECD, it's a perfect draw. That's very good. Okay, so opponent needs a Sweeper. Opponent's plan is to Wake next turn we get to ECD it. This is where they play Field of the Dead. Alright. Okay, they milled a bunch of useless stuff, mostly. Still got Gearhulk, still have Chariot. Still have at least one counter. I think we have 2 hard counters left, which is encouraging. There's one of them. Okay, I think we're going to win the game now, actually. I think we're just going to win the game with Scoot Swarm here. And Disallow, working together in perfect harmony. Kunit. Yes, Mari's Wake stacks. It adds, it does not multiply, but it does stack. Opponent's got something they keep pausing to do. I don't know what it is. I mean, yeah, Kunit's sort of like a second list reclamation. It does add today. Thanks, Bolt. We've definitely needed luck to get that ECD. The ECD was very helpful. And then the disallow after that was basically perfect. Basically perfect. Magma Quake. No. So even if they counter my disallow, which they might, we still get Scoot Swarm back with ECD. Okay, Spell Pierce. They had Spell Pierce the whole time. That's interesting. Oh. Well, that's also interesting, huh? Good thing I have this Yorion in hand, huh? That could have been really ugly, chat. That could have been really ugly. Love the Scoot Swarm with no land to follow up. Not even once, chat. Not even once. Opponent's having an unfortunate time over there. Yeah, Kuna, people have definitely tried to do the Wilderness Reclamation Pact of Negation thing, and it's just turned out not to be especially good. Alright, Kogla's pretty strong. Kogla actually stops me from using ECD to reanimate my stuff, which is actually terrifying. I'm going to cycle this now because I would like to play Gear Hulk next turn and flash it back. And we found Neutralize. Slightly too late. Slightly too late. Okay. So they're going to attack. They're going to kill ECD. I can't really stop them. What do I have left in my deck? I've got Chariot. I've used Into the Royal. Commits exiled. Inscription is also exiled, I believe. No, Inscription is still in my deck, but I can't draw and cast it here. I can disallow the kill ECD with Gear Hulk. That's a good point. That's a good point. So I'll probably do that. That's a good point. Okay. Sublime is already in exile, so we can't Sublime anything here. Lay Claim is also in exile. Alright. Cavalry Man has a good idea. Let's hope we don't get countered. Inscription is... Oh, is Inscription in sideboard? That's going to make it hard to access. Oops. Yeah, I think my best bet's going to be to get back Scoot Swarm and try to beat my opponent with Scoot Swarm, although who the heck knows what they're going to cast. Their deck is the most random pile I have seen yet in the cube, which is not a bad thing. I mean, they're making it work. They're definitely making it work, including their mana. So that's cool. Okay, that worked. So we disallow you. I'm blocking with this. I don't see this ever doing more than blocking 7 damage, so I think we will block. Okay. Opponent could cast literally anything. Okay, you know, of all the things they could have literally cast, Golos Tyrus Pilgrim actually is one that doesn't surprise me. I assume there's a Field of Dead coming. Although they are... okay, they had to pause to find it, but it was in fact Field of Dead. That's gonna be slightly tricky, but... well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Drew Llanowar Elves. Alright, we're gonna get back... this Yorion or Scoot Swarm? Yorion blinks... Yorion has flying? I think it's gotta be Yorion because Yorion has flying. Well, yeah, obviously, once you see 5 colors, you assume someone's doing Golos Field like 80% of the time. Yeah, I think it's gotta be Yorion. We just try to kill them with flyers, and then we blink the Gear Hulk and flashback Hieroglyphic Illumination and try to somehow survive. But I think we're gonna die. I think we're quite likely to be dead. But nicing us for absolutely no reason. Alright, draw 2. This puts us to 5 cards in library. Shepherd the Flock can get back Torrential Gear Hulk when they try to kill it with Kogla, which is pretty funny. How many lands are left, Kevlar Man? I don't know. I have no idea. So we gotta protect Yorion at all costs, and we gotta not die to these random creatures they've got. They're also gonna get started activating Golos, which is horrifying. I think we take this hit off of Kogla. Oh, Clarendon, do you know that for a fact? Do you have access to some kind of app that tells you that? I don't really know how this all works. Could double block Kogla, but we have no chance. We're probably just going to die to Golos activating here, unfortunately. Okay, Cardboard Live tells you that stuff. Sure. Oh, that's a free Sublime Epiphany. That's getting neutralized, I guess. Alright, some quality Magic cards. Yeah, this is one of those games where if we were just playing the red-green deck, they would lose 98% of the time or something. Alright, so more zombies. We still have outs, but I don't think we have... Well, it's going to be tight, that's all I'm saying. If we're going to win this one, it's going to be tight. Well, that Spell Pierce was nasty. Okay, I get it. You have a free spell. Just cast it. Just cast it, buddy. There we go. Is that really so difficult? Sadly, one of my remaining cards is a Wilderness Reclamation, which doesn't help me much, although the island helps me even less. To be fair, the island helps me even less. Yeah, I kind of doubt we have anything resembling outs at this point, but I'm going to keep fighting. Yeah, that's... Well, Waking the Trolls actually doesn't really matter. But they can Waking the Trolls, kill one of my untapped lands, and then slip a Sarkhan past me, which would be very bad. I'm dead, right? They just make a flyer? Yeah, there are no outs from me here. Hey, Bottle Brush, good to see you again. Maybe we just go back to the 60-card version. Maybe that's the anti-Ashiok tech. Yikes. It's also possible we have like a little too much ramp. That was just a weird game. Yeah, they said the right spells at the right time. I don't know there was much we could have done. Raven's Warning. I don't know about this one. At least we didn't lose to Mill. We just lost our opponent killing us with spells. Ashiok did not matter, even though it activated a bunch of times. Aside from the fact that I guess it took some spells that we could have drawn, but equally could have taken, you know, things we didn't need and let us draw things we need. Back Negation would have won that game. Worth noting, I guess. If we had it at the right time, at least. Yeah, I still think this setup is pretty much where I'm at. Can I get some more card drawn here? I do want to fit Boon of the Wishgiver in. What am I cutting for that? Illumination's better with Gearhulk. Boon is better generally. I don't think I want to cut Hydra. Hydra being double green's awkward. I could cut... Hard to choose. Could cut Shepherd, I guess. I could cut Raven's Warning. Could cut Birth of Meletus, I guess. Yeah, sure. Why not? We're probably anti-aggro enough, right? Probably going to be capable of not losing to aggro. I don't actually know if that's true. We might lose to aggro. Maybe it's Shepherd or Warning. Nah, I like Shepherd way too much. Okay. Gonna try and get away with this pile. Mana is sketchy. But I saw that Luminous Reclamation. I decided I was going to meme a little bit. I think if this deck were just like a Yorion Pact control deck, it would probably be better. Like Esper Pact. One of these days I'll play Demonic Pact in this cube. Marcos, thanks for the follow. 15 minutes late, but thank you anyway. Yay! Our mana is so good. Uh-oh. Well, okay, it's a 1-power creature. Can probably handle a 1-power creature. He said, hopefully. Don't play Luminarch Aspirant. Hey, no Luminarch Aspirant. Beautiful. Don't play anything. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and foretell Star and Hem Unleashed. See how that worm works out for you, bud. It's probably going to work out okay for them because we're really struggling here hand-wise, but... Mikaeus the Lunarch. Do I counter this and cycle the Illumination? Do I cast the Illumination? It's a good cube, Bottle Brush. There are changes I would make, but no cube I've ever played has been like perfect by my own estimation or whatever. Let's cast Illumination, I think. I'm just going to try and find an answer to their stuff. I think we need to draw to something useful. Alright, Plains is a good start. Llanowar Visionary is pretty good too. Although I believe the Stormer is going to hold Supreme Will, so they can at best like Mikaeus onto one creature. Llanowar Visionary gives me access to Lay Claim next turn. Cloud Dirndl, I have not made a cube before, which is one of the reasons I'm not trying to comment too hard on like things I like or dislike about this one. Lay Claim definitely looking a little sketchy compared to the Immortal Sun here. Well, I guess they died to most of the same stuff against white decks. I definitely should not tap both islands. That made no sense. But we drew another white source, which is cool. Okay, so they play something good, I can steal it. They play Ceram's Expertise, I die immediately. That's really bad. I guess at least I can take that thing out. Oh gosh, chat, I'm so dead. Oh no. Alright, yikes. Alright, so I can steal their Mikaeus to stop them from using it again. Or I could cycle Lay Claim and desperately try to find something else relevant. Yeah, I don't think Lay Claim really helped me very much here. I think we need to find something else. I don't even know what, but something else. Neutralize, great, yeah. So counter spells in this format tend to be a little slow. I don't know if you've noticed, but counter spells tend to be a bit sluggish. So we're not actively dead yet. We get to double block something if they activate Mikaeus. We can get something back with ECD in a turn. Unfortunately, what they're probably going to do this turn is just cast 2 Angels, at which point I will die, because I have no Cleansing Novas. Cleansing Nova was really good. I should have taken Cleansing Nova when that card appeared to me, I think. Okay. I see. They're going to be able to give something pro-green and kill all my stuff. Technically, probably should have blocked a servo there. Oh, cool. Wait, they didn't even use Mikaeus. That's cool. Appreciate that. Yeah, blocking the cat was silly. Should have blocked a servo. Torrential Gear Hulk. That does not... Okay, it gets Hieroglyphic Illumination. Am I dead, though? Moving on to the real questions. Am I dead? They attack me for 3/3/3/2/2. I have Gear Hulk and Florahedron to block, so not quite dead. Like, probably dying, but not quite dead. Really surprised they didn't use Mikaeus again. I guess they're trying to play around a sweeper of some kind. Shadow Spear. That's fine. Okay. So what do I need here? Unfortunately, the double bounce spell being in the sideboard is pretty brutal. I feel like that's actually the card I needed. They're considering sacking Alciud, which I don't think would make any sense. Okay, cool. Oh, it has Trample? Oh, does that kill me? Oh, yeah, that kills me, right? I take 3/3/2. Yeah, I'm exactly dead. Unfortunate. Who could have predicted I would lose that game? Alright, chat, that was an 0-3 for viewing pleasure. You can see why my inclination was to take Luminar Casper into that first pack. Control is kind of a trap in this cube. I'm not sure what they could do to fix that. Probably if they had like a sweeper or 2 back in, that would make it a little easier, but... Big trap, big trap. Wilderness Reclamation, also kind of a trap. Yeah, and this is... So we're not going to stream games with this deck, but I'll draft one more, so you can see maybe me being a bit more serious. It's tough. The 17 lands leaderboard does make me want to take the cube more seriously, even though... You know, I don't mind going 0-3 with the Wilderness Reclamation once in a while if it's fun. And those were fun games. A lot of things happened, at least the first 2. The first 2 were close. Alright, but super serious mode, what am I taking now? Super serious mode, the cards that appeal to me are Murderous Rider and Adonto Vanguard. Probably Vanguard is the win maximizing one of those cards. Rider's also very good though. Yeah, it's not a great first pick. None of these cards are like in my top 30, but yeah, I think black is a worse color than white in the cube, but it's more fun for me to play. I think you get more interesting decisions to make at different points. Let's take Rider. See if we can wheel Atris or Eliminate. Alright, had we taken Adonto Vanguard, we would just take Benalish and Marshall here. Because I took a black card, everyone is going to ask me to take Grey Merchant of Asphodel, but I'm not going to do that. The cards that appeal to me in this pack are Gilded Goose, Yorion. Pretty much just those 2, I think. Dragon Skull Summit I don't like because I think black-red is pretty bad. Like, black is not aggressive enough to support red very reliably, and red doesn't play nearly as well into, like, the black sack strategies as white and green do. Yorion seems pretty reasonable. It's, like, generally not a disappointing card to cast. Yorion or Goose. I have had some black-green deck in this cube that I really liked. And Gilded Goose would go well in it. Close call. I do generally try to avoid blue. So Yorion tells me I'm Orzhov, Gilded Goose tells me I'm green-black. Kind of more interested in Goose here. Oh, and of course now we're punished by immediately ripping ECD. There's also Tendershoot Dryad. Tendershoot Dryad is... I guess it's only really scary if they can't kill. I'm just going to take ECD. ECD is ridiculous. Maybe we're Abzan. Maybe we're just going to forget that we ever took a Gilded Goose. Tendies just dies to everything. It's not very good. Paradise Druid, Bolas' Citadel are the two cards that stand out here. Citadel wins a lot of games by itself, but will also sometimes do nothing. Paradise Druid lets us go into more of like an Abzan mid-range flavored shell. I'm like kind of intrigued by the potential of Abzan mid-range. I'm not very interested in Lana. I mean, we could also abandon Murderous Rider and just try to play green-white ramp, at which point Lana Werewolves might be a bit better, but I also think Paradise Druid and Lana Werewolves are very close on power level. Like, getting a turn 1 green source in a multicolored deck is not the easiest thing all the time. We'll take Paradise Druid and stay open. But, close call. I mean, any of those picks could have been fine. And here I'm going to take Branchloft Pathway. There are 2 pretty replaceable removal spells and a helpful land. I'll definitely take the land there. And now there's not much. Acquisitions Expert would have been cute if you were doing Orzhov Yorion. Bosri's Lieutenant is just a fine beater, but not better than a fine beater. Vandal is like... Vandal's pretty interesting, and in the last black-green deck I had, which had like Luris and a bunch of graveyard synergies, we were able to make really good use of Vandal. I don't know that we're going in that direction necessarily. Expert also goes pretty well with a bunch of different black cards. This is Green Seeker. Green Seeker's fine. Let's take Green Seeker. Like, not super impressed by it, but it's fine. It's never worse than fine. Mechagodzilla Cosmos Elixir. This card seems kind of hugely underpowered. Grateful Apparition does stuff. We end up in green-white counters. Had I taken that Bosri's Lieutenant, this would be a consideration. Is it still a consideration? We could still end up in green-white counters. This card's also pretty funny with ECD. Ministrant's not very exciting to me. It's like okay in green-white tokens, but only okay. Septize, certainly not if I'm not going to be playing against those other players, so at that point it never even enters my mind. Apparition seems at least vaguely interesting. I think none of these other cards have any real chance of making a deck that I'd be playing. Ranger of Eos versus Temple of Plenty. We already have Gilded Goose. Pretty into Ranger. I've been very impressed by Ranger. And 17 Lands also says that Ranger is quite strong. There are multiple Abzan lands, but I think we're not really seeing that much tempting black. Pretty down to abandon Ranger. Okay, now we've got Kabira Takedown, Momentary Blink. I don't think Momentary Blink is really a consideration. We just don't have that much exciting stuff to blink. So just haven't really been finding blue-white blink decks to exist. Maybe Kabira Takedown. Kabira Takedown's been quite good for me. Yorion Wield. Okay. Could still make some use of that. Could still make some use of Godless Shrine. Imperious Perfect's more of the green-white token aggro archetype, but I still don't know exactly what we're doing. I'd like to remain open to be Abzan something or other. Now, is it Stockpile or Celebrant? We're definitely not playing a 60-card Yorion deck. Well, maybe. We'll see. We'd only be 2 colors if we were doing that. I'm going to take Celebrant. I think Stockpile's just not as good. Okay, Fibblethip is an interesting choice for a Yorion deck. What happened to Fibblethip? Okay, this is the second time I've seen this. I clicked Fibblethip and Fibblethip disappeared. Oh, wait, no, Fibblethip. Oh, I can't take Fibblethip. Fibblethip! Oh, well. Okay, hit the Expert and the Minister. Alright, so we're like Abzan blinky stuff. So reasonable options here would be Field of the Dead, Solemn Simulacrum, and Kaya. If we're trying to play a 60-card Yorion deck, we definitely don't want to be taking Field of the Dead because we can't afford to spend many picks on lands, but we're not playing 60-card Yorion deck because I don't think that's really possible. So what exactly are we doing? We're like kind of rampy mid-range stuff? We've got Ranger Vios, which is going to fetch up, like, utility creatures, maybe? I think Solomon and Kai are both fine here. I'm not that interested in Field of the Dead, I think. The question is just, like, what is Solomon actually ramping us to? It doesn't look like we're that rampy. I feel like I would rather have the payoff of Kaya. We might wheel Kaya. I guess we could wheel Kaya. This pack's pretty weak. Maybe it is Field. We just try to wheel Solomon or Kaya here. We're a 3-color deck. Genuinely don't know. Okay, we ended up with Solemn? Sure. Oh, look, Luris. Okay. Yeah, I like Luris quite a bit in decks of this type. I don't know exactly what we're doing with him or her doing with her yet. But, we can pick up some synergies. Golden Egg works well with Luris and Yorion, I guess. Chariot? Easy Chariot. Over Zagoth Triome? Yes, Chariot is ridiculous with Yorion, just a strong card overall. A little bit sad to be passing Thassa. This could have been a good Thassa deck, but I'd rather have the Chariot and just stick to my guns. Here I'll take Scattered Groves over Heartless Act and Blood Artist. So really just looking to be more Abzan mid-range and not really looking to do sack synergy stuff here, I think. This is Evolving Wilds or Mind Stone. We'll take the Stone. So, mostly looking for power cards we can ramp into here. It's like the thing I most want. Return of the Wild Speaker is almost one of those, but not quite. We have a hard time drawing a lot of cards off of this at the moment with our list. It's like the pump is fine, but we're not going that wide. This is the problem. We're like kind of an unfocused deck here. There are decks where like Return of the Wild Speaker would be absurd. Instead, I think we have to take Shepherd or Thirst. I think it's Shepherd easily. We have a lot of good targets for Shepherd. It also gives us more fuel for Luris. Easier card to trade off early and then cast again later. Other stuff I'm looking for would be like, there are particular 1-drops that would be very interesting to me. So like Selfless Savior and Alciad, which work well with Luris and can be fetched with Ranger. Giant Killer. Maybe Knight of the Ebon Legion. Not that we have to play Ranger Vios, so it's not like that important to find them, but it would be nice. Ideally, I think you want at least 3 1-drops with Ranger Vios, so there's a good chance that you can actually get 2 cards off of it. If you're only getting 1 card, it's not a very good Magic card. If you're getting 0, of course, it's a disaster. Hey, Technolink, thanks for the follow. Okay, big pile of nothing, but there's a Showdown of the Scalds, which is, of course, absurd with Yorion and Shepherd of the Flock. We don't really have the tools to splash it right now, but we've got a Paradise Druid because we got a Solemn Simulacrum as well. I'm actually pretty interested in Showdown. I think it's, like, none of these other cards are cards I like very much at all. And even though we're not super likely to be able to get away with Showdown, it at least intrigues me. We're also still in a position where we could easily abandon black. We only have 3 black cards and like 1 land. Huh. Heroic Reinforcements. Or like Wilt. Primal Might is not great in our deck with a bunch of tiny creatures. Heroic Reinforcements, I sort of have a backdoor into playing it like Naya tokens. I think I'd take the backdoor and Naya tokens. I don't know that that's actually going to be a thing we can do, but just none of those other cards appeal to me at all. Here I'll take Kaya, so we're probably not actually playing Heroic Reinforcements. Golden Egg I think is better than Birth of Meletus, slightly. Yeah, Golden Egg actually just fixing our mana is also kind of a big deal. And Thassa Wield, okay. Are we 5-color Blink Yorion? This is Pelaka Predation. Neil Verge Pathway. Alright, so our mana is an absolute disaster. But maybe there's something we can figure out that makes this work. Really wish I'd taken that Dryad of the Elysian Grove before. Yeah, we can just take lands for the entire pack next pack, maybe. Okay. Oh, there's Giant Killer. I was saying earlier how I would like a Giant Killer for this deck. Shark Typhoon's also very powerful. If we were to take a land out of the pack, I guess it would be Woodland Cemetery. Am I just not playing... I might play black as like a light splash. Cut this, potentially cut this. Oh, definitely cut Cruel Celebrant. We're playing more of just like a Thassa Yorion Blink style deck. Take Watery Grave here, I think. Hurts to pass Shark Typhoon, Giant Killer, but I think we... I guess this is just both of our splash colors off the Watery Grave, which is a little awkward. Maybe I'll take Woodland Cemetery. I'll take Woodland Cemetery. Giant Killer, I think, was the second pick out of that. And Dotha Triome is an extremely... Yeah, you have to work really hard not to get me picking Dotha Triome, and none of these cards stack up well enough to make me not do that. Noxious Gearhulk. Well, this card's pretty busted with Yorion and Thassa, huh? There's also a Temple Garden and an Angel of Sanctions, which is easier for us to cast, but not nearly as busted. Oh, we're not playing Grateful Apparition anymore, so we're not really committed hard to any one color. Is Gearhulk bust enough to just be the card we take? Or is it just Angel? That's tough. I think it's Angel. And try at least pretend we have reasonable mana. Selfless Savior. I think the Ranger of Yost ship has sailed at this point, and I just want to take a land. Okay, so Raugrin Triome. So we're kind of like green-white splashing the other three colors right now, and that's if I play Showdown of the Skalds, which I don't have to. I can also just take Sky Sovereign or Elspeth Sun's Nemesis. It's got a lot of fives at the moment. Triumph, Haven, Elspeth. Triumph, I think. I'm willing to play all the colors. And now Darkboard Pathway over a bunch of other stuff that doesn't interest me very much. Hey, Zanside raiding with a party of... good-sized party. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. We're just finishing up this draft, and I guess we'll play one game with the deck now that we have a big raid, but probably not more than that. I'm kind of closing out on the end of my stream. We've got an absolute pile here. I sort of made some noise about how I was going to try and do something competitive and then sort of changed my mind immediately. Huh. I guess this is a reasonable Doom Foretold deck, huh? I think that's more interesting to me than Militia Bugler is. Bugler hits Solemn. Really almost nothing. Yeah, I'm taking Doom Foretold. Okay, and this is Glacial Fortress over Cosima, and Stitcher Supplier isn't anything. We still only have the one blue card. Oh, this is gonna be quite interesting to play out. All right, I could use some like cheap cards here. I guess Asika makes all the mana. And this is Cast Out a Reclamation Sage. Yeah, the Paradise Druid pick was definitely correct. I mean, we didn't have to go 5-color, of course, but... Alright, it's Cast Out. Auto pick picked for me. I'll take Disfigure here. Might just play that. Alright, this is definitely not a Ranger of Eos deck anymore. I don't know what it is. It's definitely something. We're going to end up with exactly enough playable spells, I think. Yeah, this is the most pily of piles that I've drafted yet in this format, but there's some synergy. There's some synergy that we could achieve. Mouse to feed Supreme Will on the splash. I'm kind of just in for a 3-mana 3/3 in this deck. that occasionally draws me a card later. Conclave Mentor. Do we have exactly Shoto the Scalds to synergize with this? Take Erebus Intervention. Erebus Intervention actually is kind of nice too. And a Bugler, which I guess we might play. It gives me something to blink at least. That is true. Giant Link Feed and Showdown go well together. Alright, so we end up only 2 cards over playable count somehow. So what are the cuts from this mess? So we have a 1-card blue splash, a 1-card red splash, and we're actually playing some black. Kabira Takedown is a potential cut. Our creature count is not actually that high. It is a land. We have a lot of awkward tapped land, like awkward mana already. I think Kabira Takedown is a good selection to remove. And then how many Bugler hits do we have? We've got Expert, Greenseeker, Paradise Druid, Gilded Goose, Solemn Asika. 6 total hits. But like, it is a nice card to blink with Thassa. What are we blinking with Thassa otherwise? We're blinking Expert. We're blinking Goose. We're blinking Solemn. We're blinking Angel sometimes. We're blinking Yorion sometimes. We're blinking Chariot's like the really exciting thing to blink with Thassa. Honestly, I don't know if this is actually a Thassa deck. Which may sound like some like horrendous heresy, but I don't actually know that we have enough stuff to really take advantage of her. Like, we're going to very frequently have Thassa and just absolutely nothing to do with Thassa. It's going to feel terrible. She's never going to be a creature. The tap ability is rarely going to be very relevant because we're not going to have a ton of blue. Yeah, Kiora is just a ramp spell here, Clever Man. It's just a ramp spell with exactly 1 hit. So we could cut Kiora as well, as Kiora is not the world's best ramp spell when that's all she's doing. Is there other stuff I could play instead of some of this stuff? Yeah, the deck is kind of ramp into nothing right now. Like, there are some little synergies here and there, and we're sort of trying to play a small game with our opponents by grinding them down a bit. If we cut Kiora, Scrapheap Scrounger is like vaguely interesting with Doom Foretold. But that's about it. Yeah, this deck is real bad. I might give up this draft after 1 game, but we will play that 1 game. Alright, let's figure out the mana. Alright, so we have 1 of each basic for Solemn Simulacrum. I guess that's fine. We have any green sources? That's the important number is green sources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green sources. We do need to add more than that. I believe we're getting rid of... Actually, I think we're getting rid of Island and Mountain, right? They both cast exactly 1 card, and we have other ways to cast those. And Solemn is only exactly 1 card in your deck anyway. So get rid of Island, get rid of Mountain, add at least 1 more Forest, add a... We're only at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Okay, 9 white sources, actually. So do I got a Swamp? We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black sources? Oh, we actually have more white pips than green, which is kind of funny. Alright, I think we got a Plains. We just gotta guarantee we hit double white. And single white early. Alright, we'll try this mess of a deck. This is gonna be... The games we play are definitely gonna be unique. I guess as far as winning, we've got, like, looping Asika's Chariot, or... like getting off a Kaya ult, or just taking away all of our opponent's stuff. Yeah, this is definitely. I'm definitely having a really hard time actually taking this cube seriously as far as trying to win goes. We could easily have just taken it down to Vanguard pick 1, or we could have just played a nice black-white control deck. But I'm sort of in the same state with this cube as I am in Kaldheim, where I'll just play 5-color at the slightest opportunity at the drop of a hat. And I have much less excuse to do that in cube, because in cube every color is actually playable. Okay, this actually is an incredible hand. Can't cast Thassa yet, but otherwise I really like this curve. Yes, Luke, that is true. Okay, opponent had a green 1-drop and it wasn't Llanowar Elves. Pog. Oh, Paradise Druid is also super pog. I'm doing that, right? Yeah, we're doing this. We're playing Thassa on turn 3, and we're playing Acquisitions Expert, and we're going to take all of our opponent's cards away. All of our opponent's cards are going to go away. Birth and Elitist means we are going to have to wait a little bit on playing Doom Foretold. This does say non-token, right? It does say non-token. Cool. Shepherd the Flock is interesting for later. Alright, double green or double white guaranteed. We have 1 double green card and 2 double white cards. Guaranteed double white. Play Thassa. Thassa gets to untap Paradise Druid. Ooh, okay, Caravan scary. Caravan gets our opponent closer to doubling up risks. Okay, Kaya is gonna eventually be nice. Huh. She really doesn't do a ton here though, huh? Alright, we needed a land there, actually. Alright, so we're just gonna expert, I believe. Double expert, take 2 of our opponent's cards, hope that whatever one they play next is like not terrifying and Kaya can kill it. If we had a land and could have played Bugler, actually would have been... We actually might have had something going. Take that. Does Kaya's Ghost Form triggers... Ooh, okay. Well, Kaya plus Thassa is pretty interesting. Go ahead, try and kill this Acquisitions Expert. Make the pain stop, opponent. You know you want to make the pain stop. Okay, Turgid's Lantern is not especially worrisome. You have dealt me 3 damage. Well done. Okay. We're just going to take this Caravan because it makes mana. Yep, they gave up. Hey! Won a game! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So much fun. Thank you, Arena. Alright, maybe one more. That was actually surprisingly good. We're definitely going to stop by 9:30, but... Alright, let's set up a little prediction. I've been doing a very bad job of actually having predictions today. But let's go with... Will we win this game, chat? How much do you believe in the 5-color Thassa Blink pile? Technically, Kaya's +1 works with Thassa such that if you +1 your creature and Thassa blinks it, it goes back to your hand, you get a spirit, which is usually worse than just blinking the creature, but will sometimes be better. Alright, so that was the perfect, we curved out perfectly there. This deck is probably not going to always curve out perfectly, is my suspicion. But yes, it was a good example. The game was a good example of why you take Paradise Druid. Paradise Druid solves all your problems. All right, Jamie J. You're not going to hit him, chat. They're definitely not going to know what hit them. Okay, this hand is... Okay, turn to Asika. I keep a turn to Asika, right? We do need our opponent to be playing, like, aggro for this to work, but it's best of one cube, right? Oh no. Oh no, chat. Okay, we drew not the triumph, which is good, but that wasn't what I wanted to see. Yeah, probably Disfigure should just be Murderous Rider. Double black is, sure, we can get to double black. Why not? Don't play Maze Mind Tome. Okay, that's acceptable. Discards Momentary Blink. Okay. Alright, are we just acquisitions experting them here? Over Goose. This is a hand that could cast the Prismatic Bridge at some point. Maybe. That points to goosing. You know what? Yeah, I'm into goose here. Goose also lets me just like cast Thassa if I draw it, for example, or cast Solemn. Go ahead, play a Thief of Sanity. No, oh, Doom Foretold. Okay, just go for that. Probably gets countered, but eating a counter is not the worst. Or do I try and wait and see if I can catch them tapping out to make a resolve a permanent? I actually sort of like the idea of trying to catch them attempt to resolve a permanent here. Do I cast Asika? Asika's really bad if they have Languish. I think I might want to save Asika for Prismatic Bridge purposes. See if we can lure them into casting a permanent next turn. Okay. Worth noting that we can Erebos Intervention at some point if we need to get rid of the Momentary Blink, or if our opponent's doing Reanimator shenanigans or something. Opt is fine. Maybe they'll tap out and cast a Turgid's Lantern here. That would be great. Okay, Think Twice also dies to Erebos Intervention, which is kind of cool. Go ahead, do something. Do something. I dare you. They're not doing anything. That's distressing. Hey, it's Thassa. Okay. So I think we want to use Doom Foretold as bait for Thassa rather than Thassa as bait for Doom Foretold. Thassa just is like very good in our deck in the long run. Play this on white. Try for Doom Foretold. Close call. I could easily see this going the other way. There are a lot of 5-drops our opponent could cast that would make the whole Blink Acquisitions Expert plan look pretty bad. Okay, Resolve, that's cool. I guess if they have Sea Dash or Octopus, we get kind of pawned. No, we have a Disfigure for that. Alright, I guess they're cards, that's fine. Yeah, it was supposed to be Thassa. This actually doesn't look that great if it's just a kind of medium, like 3-for-1 kind of, but the 2/2 isn't going to do very much probably. So if they sweep here, I can't cast Thassa at all. Gifted Ether. Okay, cool. So our opponent's kind of doing pile things too. That's fine. Militia Bugler. All right. Do I go for Thassa now? They didn't play a counterspell last turn. They were willing to let Doom Foretold resolve and just cast Think Twice, which seems iffy to me. Let's just go for Bugler here. I feel like at some point they're going to tap out. Alright, we lose Elspeth Conqueror's Death, that's fine. Got Disfigure, which can take out the Aetherborn and let us put them under some actual pressure. I actually probably should have gone in for the attack. That actually would have been better, chat. That would have been better. I should have attacked, used Disfigure, tried to get them to counter the Disfigure, otherwise kill their Aetherborn, and then I could have resolved Thassa. That would have been better. Now they're at 6 mana, and 6 mana is the part where scary things begin to happen. Okay, Thief of Sanity is not very scary. Thief of Sanity I can handle, no problem. Momentary Blink costs 4 mana to flashback. Nice. Okay. Okay, Kaya the Inexorable. Now I am down to use Thassa as bait. Because Kaya is a card I'm very happy to resolve against our opponent's deck, I suspect. Okay, yeah, they had the general purpose counterspell. So I think we just chill here. I could attack and then trade one of the 2/2s for Aetherborn with Erebos Intervention, but that doesn't seem that exciting. Yeah, they were very disciplined. I mean, it was pretty obvious they had it. They maneuvered well, though. We have at least continued to grind down their cards a bit. Exclusion Mage. Okay, that takes out a 2/2, which is fine. Well, it's doing the like small ball control thing here. They've got Momentary Blink with that eventually. Okay. Still can't quite get the Prismatic Bridge down. Do I just go for Kaya now and hope they don't have another counter? I think so. If they have another counter, it's whatever. We kind of reach a state of the game being pretty even, and then eventually I can maybe cast a Prismatic Bridge. Do I play this player in Censor? I think I do him at 22 life. See if they got another counter here. Nope. Alright, I like that. I like the sound of that. Let's put a Ghost Form counter on Bugler here, I think. There's nothing on their side that I particularly care about exiling. And, you know, maybe they can answer Kaya. That's still fine, though. Cloudblazer, alright, that's acceptable. It does let them chip Kaya, but I've got Gilded Goose to block it and Erebos Intervention to kill it, so they actually need to find a real answer to Kaya. If they attack with the Aetherborn, am I double blocking, single blocking? Not sure. So this is what I like about decks like this. It's like, if you happen to run into somebody else who's doing like the small ball grindy thing, it's like pretty fun. Ooh, Yorion Sky Nomad. Huh. Doesn't like actually do that much for me. I think we just plus an Acquisitions Expert. Let's see. Play Sky Nomad. We kind of get a lot of blinks off actually with this, and it's a 4/5. Being a 4/5 is really good. Oh, actually, yeah. Okay, we'll do this. I think we blink Bugler to put it back in hand and make a Spirit, and then we can plus on Yorion. All sounds pretty reasonable. Alright, this is nice, this is nice. I like this. And Kaya's ultimate is pretty unbeatable, I'd have to imagine. So we'll see if they found an answer for her yet. They showed us the Censor. So the good cards left in my deck at this point are like Show to the Scalds, Asika's Chariot, Shepherd of the Flock could do some work. Shepherd of the Flock is in the bottom of my deck. We have a Solemn at some point that will shuffle it back in. Hostage Taker. Okay, that's not going to do what my opponent wants it to do. Sorry, opponent. Worth knowing they still have a Momentary Blink in the graveyard. I mean, they get a decent little attack, and I'm going to have to lose a lot of stuff, but I think replaying Kaya every turn is still going to kill them. So we just block with Goose, I think, over Expert. Yeah, we're going to cast a Seeka at some point. Actually, can I lose Expert? I'm willing to lose Expert to kill the Mage, I think. Am I? No, I'm not. What am I talking about? Now, if they actually have removal for Kaya, that would be very funny. If they just, like, use this to force a terrible attack. Or a terrible block for me. This is only the second time I've ever ulted Kaya. Okay, here goes. What does this do? The beginning of your upkeep, you may cast it from your hand or your graveyard, or exile. Oh, we get to cast Thassa with this. We get to cast Thassa with this. Hold the phone. I'm kind of in love. And I think this turn just looks like Solemn and maybe Intervention taking their Momentary Blink. Actually, if they blink Hostage Taker, we can kill Hostage Taker very easily with a bunch of different things. So I think this is just play Yorion to have a good blocker and take another one of their cards. Let's do that. Like, we can't really lose from here. Famous last words, but I don't think we can lose from here. Can we bridge off the emblem? That's a great question. I think we can. I think we can cast the bridge with that. We might do that at some point, although I'm going to cast Kaya first, probably. They gave me an unconditional removal spell. Fascinating. What do they have that's better than Hagrameling? What have you got that's better than Hagrameling? I'm worried about the answer to that question, but we have a removal spell that gains a bunch of life. So maybe we'll be fine. Okay, Gonti, Lord of Luxury is interesting. So Bo's got a really cool Esper Blink deck, by the way. Momentary Blink looks awesome in their deck. I've not seen this archetype like pulled off before like this, but good job. Well, they're just done. They're not even going to do anything else here, huh? Okay. Yeah, here comes Kaya. Let's do this. Let's do this. If you emblem Kaya twice, do you get 2 legendary cards? Chat, is that how that works? I badly want that to be how that works. Like, deeply would like that to be how that works. Should be. Okay. We also just like start exiling our opponent's stuff. Is that gonna be better? I think we just start exiling all their stuff. Let's take away the Gonti here. We got multiple removal spells that can take out something in response to Momentary Blink. Oh, does he want to have my Shepherd of the Flock? For a second I thought they might have had my Shepherd of the Flock. That would have been terrifying. Everything costs a lot of mana, sadly, so I think we just pass. Let's hold up my different... We could play Desica there and hold up a 2 mana Erebos Intervention in case they blink the Cloud Blazer, but then if they blink the Hostage Taker, it's a bit awkward. Can Kaya get back stuff from... What does Kaya do? Okay, so if my opponent Hostage Taker something, if my opponent Hostage Takers Yorion, Kaya can get it back, it looks like. Okay, this play is interesting. I am game to figure out what's going on here. Actually, no. You're just attacking me for 2 damage. You can attack me for 2 damage. That's fine. Mind Stone. Okay. That is basically the least scary thing they could have gotten. Pretty happy with that. Do I Erebos Intervention something now? They have momentary blink, so no, I do not. I am going to cast... I'm going to cast the Prismatic Bridge now. Let's do this. And Paradise Druid's a good draw. Let's play that. Plus up on Yorion? Sure. Alright, we do have to actually kill our opponent and not get milled out in the process, which is going to be an interesting exercise. Supreme Will, sure. Okay, glad that our opponent is using their counter up now. They've got a lot of mana. I'm pretty glad Agent of Treachery isn't still in the cube. Agent of Treachery would be a messy thing to contend with here. Specifically, it would take away my Prismatic Bridge and make me very sad. Opponent is persisting and doing this. Alright. Now I'm down to block this and figure out what the heck is going on. My best guess is like Unburial Rites? Malakir Rebirth. Okay, so that's kind of like Unburial Rites. Let's go with... Ooh, and if I Erebos Intervention this, they can blink it? Okay. Sure. What are we stealing with this exactly? Yorion? Because that's just not going to work for the same reason that it didn't work last time. We're stealing Expert? Opponent has chosen to steal Expert. Alright, so that's acceptable. How many? They have a wizard. They have a wizard right now, and a pirate and a vampire. So they have party size of 2. Oko and Uro are not in the cube. No, the cube is substantially downpowered from that. There's no Nissa, there's no Tef, there's no Fire's Invention. You can have, I guess, Bugler or Solemn. I think I just want to keep all my removal spells at the moment. It's going to be a long frickin' game. Maybe not with the Prismatic Bridge out. Prismatic Bridge may make it shorter. Okay, we'll use Prismatic Bridge first. We don't have anything particularly impressive to hit, but whatever. Ooh, Luris. Does Luris do anything? Luris gets back Gilded Goose? I just want lands. Can I draw some lands at some point? Alright, we're gonna have Kaya murder the... I think I want my opponent getting back... I don't think I want my opponent blinking Cloud Blazer. If they try to blink it now, that's great, because it just means I get to intervention it. And then we hold up Paradise Druid and cast out. And we just continue to grind. Set my upkeep for Greenseeker. They have another trick. Pact of Negation. Wow, okay. Sure, Pact of Negation resolves. And then do I cast out the Cloud Blazer? Yeah, I guess so. It's weird because then if they can remove the cast out, I'm very sad. But they do have to pay all their mana next turn, so I don't think they're going to be able to do that. Okay. Ooh, now I get to attack with the Yorion, which is kind of sick. Right? Yeah, my opponent's never going to be able to kill me with damage, so I'm going to start attacking them here. And then do I blink Yorion? Yorion have a Ghost from Informed counter is actually kind of awkward at this point. I think we just keep Paradise Druid alive. Okay. Please pay, opponent, please pay. It would be... I would not have been surprised if they just decided not to pay and lose. Yeah, the Cloud Blazer has been the focus of a lot of attention. Actually, so funny thing about Dryad Greenseeker is an important pattern to learn if you're playing cubes that have Greenseeker in them. I believe I've done the math on this correctly, is that you want to activate after your draw if you're trying to draw a land, and activate before your draw if you're trying to draw a spell. I don't even know if that's sarcasm, but it's great sarcasm if so. Oh, Angel of Sanctions, that's useful. I'm going to take my acquisition expert back, actually. Please, thank you. And I will recast Kaya. Okay, drew the land, nice. Oh, they're done, alright. Well, that would have been an entertaining game to finish off, chat, but they gave up. Cool. Alright, chat, did I give you enough enough games like no games you've ever seen before? 2-0 with frickin' Rainbow Blink. 2-0 with Rainbow Blink. Not even hard. Obviously the easiest. Just kidding, that was really difficult. Alright. 43 to 57 seems about right for this deck, but we did win. You are all rewarded for your beliefs. Arena Cube's very sweet. I'm looking forward to the rest of the games with this deck, even though I wouldn't be surprised to go 2-3 with it. Whew. Alright, let's see if there's anybody to raid out there. Who's out there right now? Who's cubing? Seth Manfield is cubing? Seth Manfield is cubing, and Chris Patel is playing Teamer Lucky Clover. We gotta raid. Seth, there's Seth out there if you want to watch more cube, but we're gonna raid Chris, because Chris is playing Lucky Clover, and I was thinking I would play some Lucky Clover tonight and it didn't, so we're gonna send you to Chris instead. It is Caleb's birthday, that's nice. Caleb already has 2,000 people watching, though. So I try to raid people who are a little on the smaller side. Alright, chat, thanks for the great night. Don't forget to follow if you want to see more wild cube streams. I am transparent. And, yeah, see you later.